Hello, everyone, and welcome to Phandelver and Below the Shattered Obelisk. I'm your Dungeon Master, Kelly. I use he and him as my pronouns. And folks, we are starting the Phandelver campaign right now. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We're incredibly excited, and hopefully you enjoyed our episode 0 and are coming in here with fresh faces, bright eyes, and all of that good stuff. We're going to be starting in just a second. Before we do, let's go around and introduce the cast and then say a quick thank you to our sponsor. Let's say hello, starting with Christine. Hey, Christine.
Hello, I'm Christine. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I get to play Lady Alessandra Barraquel, our ASMR paladin.
Nice. Over at the corner, we've got Caitlan.
Hello, I'm Caitlan. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I'll be playing Anthea Briarfoot, the halfling artificer.
Nice. Down beneath you, we've got, I think that's Amy. I can't tell. So
Hi,
different.
I'm Amy. Pronouns are she, her, they, them, and I am playing Lyric the Tiefling Bard.
Nice. Next to you, we've got Christa.
Hello, I'm Christa. I use she, they, or her, them pronouns, and I am playing Carmilla Alizarin. I haven't said it enough yet. The Dampier fighter.
And finally, joining us for the first time in a campaign is Chris.
Hi, thanks for having me. I am so excited to be here tonight. My name's Chris. I'm playing Sindri, the half-elven monk, and I'm calling you today from the traditional unceded territories of the Kit-Kat people in what is now New West. So thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be part of the channel.
Oh my god. Someone just bought, the cats just bought 14 Hurt the Moors, which I'm keeping track of with D6s, so I'm really glad. I'm in Kansas right now running this game where I normally would be in Canada, and I found a cube of D6s in my mom's garage, so I'm really glad that I did, because holy crap, I actually have to, I was like, I'm going to use like 2 or 3 of these. 14 Hurt the Moors, 5 something good happens. I don't know how I'm going to do this, guys. Congrats. You're
A drama bomb, and everyone has I think everyone has determination.
Okay, so let's pop those on. Boop, boop, boop. If you're joining us for the first time, a quick reminder that the little icons in the corner, determination, basically is something that the chat can purchase during live performances to allow the players to add their proficiency bonus, again, to any roll, even if they have proficiency, even if they have expertise. We are also using a modified rule for the first time in one of our module campaigns today and throughout, called Inspirational Crits. It's inspired by a video by Ginny D, and basically when you get a nat 20 in combat, you can choose to give inspiration to another player that has to be used during their combat, and so on. It can popcorn. The enemies can do it too, though. So the more crits I get, the more powerful I get. The more crits you get, the more momentum you get. I'm pretty excited about that. What also I'm excited about, besides starting this fantastic campaign, is our sponsor for the night, Bookwyrm Games. Bookwyrm Games is a fantastic Vancouver area proprietor of all things dice and geeky. If you need dice, they have more than 170 types, from resin to acrylic, from liquid core to gemstone, actual gemstones, people, to candy dice if you want to eat some dice to intimidate your other dice. They have rolling trays, they have rolling bins, they have dice boxes and bags, they have tea and other scented and flavored goodies, and coming very soon, gaming tables. So if you want to have the premier gaming table, check out Bookwyrm Games and use code DORKTALES to save 10% off of your order. You can also be a late backer over at their Kickstarter for Quest Chest, which is a system-agnostic adventure in a box similar to a module mixed with an escape room and some other fun stuff combined there. Thank you to Bookwyrm Games for sponsoring us tonight and for sponsoring a giveaway. If you're watching live, we are going to be giving away... Christine, what are we giving away tonight during, at the very end of game, we'll say?
We are giving away a set of dice from Bookwyrm Games.
Beautiful.
Do not yet know what set of dice it is, so it's a surprise.
It's magical mystery dice. So I hope that you do that. We're going to be giving away items for this game all the way through episode 4. So you definitely come back every week because we're going to be giving cool stuff out that you can win and have shipped to your house by Bookwyrm Games. Thank you to Bookwyrm Games for being our sponsor yet another month. And a quick reminder that if you want to support this channel directly, you can do so on Patreon. Patreon.com/DorkTales is the best place to get advanced content, behind the scenes material, and tons of other additional content from Dork Tales. There's generally generally between 4 and 6 games a month that come out there, plus a podcast, plus another podcast, plus if you're of certain tiers, you get additional perks, like you get help with our world building, you get help with the creation of deities, demigods, heroes, locations, and more, which get used in our homebrew games. You also will have access to modules that I write, including a one-shot that we just did last week. That was a lot of fun, I think. So consider going and supporting us on Patreon if you'd like to, or you can subscribe right here on Twitch. And if you're on YouTube watching this later, let me know if you want memberships, because that's something a lot of people are doing, and I'm curious. I'm curious how it goes. Whew. All right, first game jitters, folks. You guys ready for this? Okay. Well,
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. All right. So
Let's go.
without
Couldn't find the mute button. Yay, let's do it.
All right, so without further ado, let us go ahead and start Phandelver and Below, the Shattered Obelisk. It's night, but it's always night here. Carmilla, the table beneath you is cold. It's always cold. The only light in the room comes from 2 sources. A crackling fire in the corner. A mantle that bears a harsh portrait that leers down at you. One that you have seen every day of your life. And that until you were an adult, until the first signs of your destiny appeared, you didn't know the gravity of. But ever since, the intensity of that stare has borne into you, has pierced you and penetrated you, much like the needles in your arm. Above you, the second light, a candle, held inside of a sconce by your uncle, Orlok. He looms over you. You try to move, but the leather straps around your wrist, your legs, your throat, they are tight, and they are stronger than you. Just a minute, my dear, he says. You're trying something new. The gauge of this needle is thick and painful, and you feel it pierce the side of your throat. There. All done. How do you feel? In truth, you feel terrible. Nauseous. The slimy wriggling of whatever was injected into you. You feel it crawl through your veins. And then there's the sound of snapping leather. And you sit up. A choke rises to your throat, and you look at your Uncle Orlok, and his beady eyes over his long, curly, black and white beard. He looks shocked, he looks terrified, and he stumbles back, dropping the candle, casting stark relief onto his reflection, off onto his face. And there's a satisfaction inside of you, seeing him afraid of you for the first time, but then you hear it, the sound of rearranging bone, the sound of cracking. He stumbles backward, and the surgeon's tray tips. And as you feel this indecipherable, indescribable pain ripple through your skull, you glance down at the steel of the surgeon's tray and see the gray and purple flesh looking at yourself. The inky black eyes and the writhing tendrils coming from your mouth. You hit a bump, and suddenly jerk awake. You and your companions have been riding down the road from Neverwinter to Phandalin. Light is streaming through the air, cutting through the branches of this woods road, the most rural you maybe have ever been. Who is driving the oxen at the front of the cart? You do not need proficiency to do so. The oxen are well trained. Okay, Lyric. So Lyric, please describe yourself. So Lyric, you were handling the oxen. Did you name the oxen?
Yeah.
What are they?
Ox 1 and Ox 2.
Ox 1, so Oxy and Oxdo.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So as you're driving the cart, can you please describe yourself for the audience?
All right. So Lyric is a rather slight-built tiefling, very pale, with whitish gray skin, long white, silver white hair, and 2 gold horns that are kind of coming out and curling back a little, like back over her head. She's got a smattering of like gold freckles and these very shocking golden orange eyes with slitted pupils. And she is very simply but respectably dressed with like a white button up and like a cream vest, like a beige vest, and a red necktie, like ribbon.
Nice. Are you talking or doing anything as you're riding down the road?
I think she's probably humming to herself.
Okay.
It's kind of like, and like maybe like tapping her foot in time with the spinning of the wheels.
Who's sitting in the front next to you on the front of the cart? Anyone? Or are you all crowded in the back beneath the canopy?
Happy to say Carmilla.
Lyric.
Okay, so Alessandra, you're sitting in the front. Please describe yourself.
All right, so Alessandra is not too tall, about 5'7". She's fairly slim and pale, and she takes after her parents in kind of like looking a bit half elven, but she clearly has some signs of being an ASMR around her, including the slightly ghostly glowing halo that crowns her head. And she just kind of has this bit of golden light sort of feel to her. But she has long red hair and green eyes.
Beautiful. All right, so Lyric is kind of humming to herself and kind of like just thrumming. Are you doing anything in the front?
I think just kind of looking around, because I don't think she got to be away from her parents' estate very much. Didn't let to be out on her own without family oversight.
This is the furthest south you've probably ever been, and it's a bit exciting because what you know about Phandalin, the place that you're headed, is that it's a bit rough and tumble. It's a frontier town. Miners, foresters, ne'er-do-wells. It's an exciting place to be, especially if you're from somewhere as beautiful, renowned, and sparkling as, of course, the city of skilled hands. Neverwinter is the gem of the entire Sword Coast. And this is real people. Much like your companions here, like the one sitting directly behind you inside of the cart. Sindri, you're a real person. Describe yourself.
I am a real person. And more than that, I'm very excited to be riding in a cart, which I have probably never done before. Sindri is rather short for human. That's why because he's a half-elf. Kind of on the lower end of the human size. He's very slight, but he's kind of muscled like a gymnast. He's wearing a poncho over boots that are pretty well worn, but pretty new. They look like they've seen a lot of work in the last couple of months, but the tops of them are still put together. He's wearing a travel poncho over a light set of clothing that he looks like has been wearing for maybe years and just patching and putting together with sailcloth and other accoutrements. He's got light blue hair and a couple days beard, but he is eagerly looking out the front of the wagon. Maybe because he wants to keep an eye on the horizon, or maybe because he gets motion sick because he's never been in a cart before.
You want to make me a Constitution save?
Absolutely. I guess that's the first roll of the game, huh?
The first roll of the game is a Constitution save, not to get car sick.
Let's go.
14. An adjusted 14.
An adjusted 14. All right. So you're going to be a little like sea-legged, land-legged off this, but you're fine. You're not going to get cart sick at this point. However, you're going to see that you go a little pale for a minute as that bump hits. And Anthea, you were sitting in the back. Is it Anthea or Anthea?
Oh, Anthea.
Anthea,
Yeah,
okay. So
correct.
Anthea, you're going to notice that Sindri looks like he's got a little bit of like, maybe a slight upset stomach. Not enough that he's going to like yak, but, you know, he's got a little bit of hesitation.
Oh, are you feeling under the weather? I have something for that. She's gonna start rummaging through her various potions around her waist.
Oh, that's...
I mean, they're not very good quite yet, but you know, I'm trying my best.
That's quite all right. That's quite all right. I'm fine. I'm just a little unsettled. He kind of like slides back down beside Anthea on the cart. Well, I haven't done much travel by cart before. It's mostly been by boat or by foot, so it's it's a real treat. But I am gonna keep looking at the front, if you don't mind.
Oh yes, that's a good idea. She's actually gonna scramble over to like the front. Can she like talk to Lyric from where she is?
Absolutely.
Excuse me. That was a really big bump we just hit. Knocked Carmilla right out of her sleep. We should try to avoid those in the future.
You try telling that to the ox.
Oh, well, excuse me, Mr. Ox. Please try to avoid that in the future. Did I do that right?
Make me an animal handling roll.
I have no idea.
You did exactly as asked.
Oh, thank you. Let's see here. That's an 11.
An 11? Okay. The ox is going to hop and then is going to step over a root rather abruptly, causing the entire wagon to go...
She'll probably just land on her butt.
Cool. And can you describe Anthea as she falls on her butt?
So Anthea is a halfling, standing at about 3'2" and less when she's sitting down, so she likely doesn't fit on the seat in general and looks like a child on it. She has blue hair that she ties into a crown braid on her head, as well as looking kind of scholarly with her half-frame glasses and little bow tie, blue bow tie. She's got some pink eyes and strangely tipped ears, like kind of almost looks half-elven ears, but she tries to hide them under her hair most of the time.
Nice.
And her hat.
Go, you're going to get knocked over and kind of like roll back through the cart a bit, bumping into Carmilla where she's been kind of half reclining. Carmilla's been taking the night shifts for any...
She'll try to catch Anthea a little bit.
Okay. And as you roll back into Carmilla, Carmilla, you'll be able to kind of like just brace her a little bit. Describe yourself.
Carmilla is not particularly, like, if you were to see just a figure in, like, just a shadow of her, you wouldn't think much. She's, like, 5'7", pretty average size, average height. But when you see her in the light, the yellow eyes and the very, very sullen and pale skin definitely stands out a little bit. She holds herself almost unearthly still, which may either come from many years of training in a lordly house, or possibly just the fact that she's kind of sort of a little bit undead. But you know, it's one of the two. You take your pick. Wearing sort of a very long, sort of just past her knees, very full bottomed coat in black leather, with some basic traveling pants and traveling boots, with a very, very nice looking long sword with a gold hilt and a beautiful red jewel on the end of it, that she maneuvers quite deftly but she will stop and try to catch Anthea and be like, "Thank you very much, Anthea, but you don't need to look out for me. I appreciate it, but it's okay. Are you okay?"
Thank you. Yes. My butt hurts a little bit, but I'll be okay. She'll kind of wipe her dress down, kind of pat it down, there we go, and take a seat beside you again.
I think Lyric will call back kind of over her shoulder. I find if you bounce with the carts, it tends to ease the bump a bit. Just have a little go with the rhythm.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You know, Anthea, I met someone that did, they put some kind of spring in the cart, and it kind of stopped the shock. Perhaps you could invent something like that.
Oh, okay. I'll get to sketching that right away. Thank you. That's a really good idea.
Where would you put the spring?
Perhaps under the seats?
Okay.
So you bounce with the cart, right? This is what lyrics say, bounce with the cart.
With the cart.
I'm gonna stop doing that. Excuse me.
And with that, you continue riding down the road. You've gotten to know each other fairly well since you began your adventure career in Neverwinter. You met up with a dwarf named Gundren Rockseeker, who encouraged you to take this mission. Sindri in particular, an old friend of Gundren, he hired you to help guard this. And all of you had your reasons for heading down to the frontier town of Phandalin. Right now, each of you are going to be paid 10 gold pieces for escorting these supplies safely. It also gets you a ride there, which is mutually beneficial. He set out ahead of you, saying that he had to take care of some things a bit early. Since then, you've spent the last few days following the high road south from Neverwinter, and you've just recently veered east along Tribor Trail. There's no trouble, at least not so far. But you know this territory can be dangerous, so you've been doing a good job of resting when you can, camping when you had to, and keeping a good eye on the road. Bandits and outlaws have been known to lurk around here, but the 5 of you are, well, at least competent, right? Is there been anything that's been coming up along the way? Anything that you would have particularly been talking about, or just kind of vibing with each other?
I have, and I don't know if it's mutual, but Carmilla is definitely like eyeing Ellasandra of kind of wary and like trying to get a vibe.
Fair.
And trying to be totally not a bad guy ever. Definitely not a bad guy. Not at all.
I think Alessandra has just been listening to the others and kind of like just kind of wrapped attention on like when they talk about anything to do with like normal life. I think this is a little bit of like a Prince and the Pauper type situation where the prince is just like obsessed with normal life type thing.
Perfect.
Of what is that?
So
And Zeph just kind of listening because she's feeling a little out of her depth being outside of her parents' walls.
So as you're keeping an so actually, Alessandra, there's a good chance that you were giving Carmilla quite a spook because you keep looking into the back. Not so much to see her, but the wagon is full of all sorts of things that you probably haven't experienced before. Trail rations, mining equipment, casks of salted pork, kegs of strong ale, shovels,
no.
picks, crowbars.
She has seen them in books.
Oh, in books, okay. So you can see, seeing that Carmilla has been napping on flour sacks because they're the most comfortable thing in the back seat. The other thing is out the back of the wagon. Think of it like kind of like a frontier wagon is what I'm picturing here, like the covered canvas ones from like pioneer days. You can see out the back, and you can see now the Tribor Trail disappearing behind you, lengthening. Each step of the oxen, each rotation of the wheel, moving you a step further than you've ever been on any adventure. Now, you've been on the road for about a half day at this point. And you're nearing a side road that'll lead you south toward Phandalin. Lyric, you angle the oxen around the bend, and as you do, something catches your eye directly ahead of you. A nearby tree has an arrow embedded in it.
Now, how common is it for arrows to be embedded in trees? Just on your average journey.
It's not uncommon. Sometimes hunters miss their mark. But it catches your eye and raises a little bit of curiosity, which is why a moment later you're not particularly surprised, necessarily, as you stumble on the scene of a recent battle. The woods are close to the trail here, with a steep embankment and dense thickets on either side. You can see the site here is littered with arrows, torn scraps of fabric, odds and ends discarded from what looks like some travel bags. And a pair of horses wander the road, sniffing at ransacked personal effects.
I think we should take a bit of a pause here. There's some evidence of, well, a scuffle?
A scuffle? Oh dear. No, I think we should continue on. I really...
Yes, but there's horses,
Gosh.
and they're just sort of wandering, and I don't want to leave them alone.
Oh,
Lyric, are they blocking the path?
They are. They're kind of just like minding their way in the middle of the path, like sniffing around, kind of just grazing at whatever little weeds pop up.
Yes, well, there's also a bit of an equine obstruction, so...
well, that's a little bit different.
Carmilla
What
is just
happened to
gonna
the people.
hop out the back quietly and just sort of stand next to the oxen. Sorry, go ahead, Christa.
All right. What were you saying, Alessandra?
What happened to the people? Do you see anybody?
Do I see any?
No one is immediately available. You could go and check the horses, check some of the belongings that are littered about.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
just going to try and swing down from the side of the wagon to start going and look.
I think particularly if Alessandra starts to walk forward, I think Carmilla's gonna put a hand out and pull her sword and kind of give Alessandra a bit of a look of like a be prepared, and then slowly start walking forward very carefully and probably look back to Sindri, honestly, because like you look competent, and maybe
Aha.
give you a bit of a nod.
Sindri will draw his sword and kind of keep an eye on the back of the cart to make sure no one's trying to sneak up around him.
Okay.
And just be kind of off the cart, and just take a quick peek underneath as well.
Okay. Give me a perception roll.
This feels a little like bad news.
Stay in the cart, Anthea.
I don't know. She was already like half trying to scrabble out of the cart while you're saying that.
17.
17?
I don't know how high this is, but
The underside of the cart is clear, actually.
Good. Not unexpected, just, in case.
But as you're checking under the cart, you'll see that the road has an arrow embedded in it, and there's a little splash of blood.
Does it look fresh?
Looks a bit old. Little bit. It's been absorbed into the dirt, has definitely blackened. So, hours ago, maybe?
Someone was hurt here.
oh,
don't know.
that's bad news.
Well,
What happened to them then?
he'll pull the arrow out and, well, someone got shot. Not sure who.
Or someone
Possible.
managed to
Arrow
get blood from a stone for once.
Oh, don't.
That is also possible. But let's go with the most common theory for now.
Ooh, has anyone checked if there's been any flesh to stone lately? No?
Or bandits?
Okay. All right, go with the boring, mundane option, I suppose.
I think Carmilla will start walking forward and then and look to Alessandra of like, pull your weapon and let's go.
Oh yeah, like Alessandra has her shield on one arm and she'll pull her sword.
Sounds good. Who's approaching the horses?
I think think Lyric is, because that was the main thing she was noticing.
Lyric. As Alessandra and Carmilla take a step in front of the oxen, you forge forward, heading over to the horses. Taking a look at them, can I get an investigation roll off of you?
Ooh, I sure can try. I sure definitely tried.
Okay.
Well, I have a +5, so that's a 7.
A 7? So looking around, you'll see that it looks like their saddlebags are empty. You are actually going to take a step forward, and you're going to step on something. And it's going to crunch beneath your heel. And looking down, you're going to notice that there is a map case. A leather map case that you kind of ground into the gravel, snapping the clasp of your boot.
Take my foot slowly off of it, bend down, pick it up, take a look at what I have just stumbled over.
It's a leather map case, meant for keeping maps dry in wet conditions and otherwise safe. It's empty. There's a little smear of dirt, wet by some type of substance. It's probably just mud, but it looks like a finger scrabbled at the lock. Something moves out of the corner of your eye.
Spin around.
One of the horses looks at you, and along the horn of the saddle, you'll see a length of scarf tied to it, billowing in the breeze.
Does it look good quality?
It does. It looks as good quality now as it did about 5 days ago, when you saw it for the first time. The monogrammed initials along its side. G.R. Gundren Rockseeker. The dwarf that hired you for this. This is Gundren's horse.
Well, we all remember the friendly individual who hired us, correct?
Yes, my friend. Yes.
Yeah, right. Well, this belonged to him.
That's bad news. Oh, Buttermilk.
And I think there was a map in here that is no longer here.
Anthea, can you watch the back of the card for me?
Yeah, yes.
Sindri will hustle over.
Okay. As you hustle up to the horses, you are going to recognize them immediately as, now that you get this close, as Gundren's horses.
Oh, Gundren, what have we got into now?
And as you say that, why don't we go back? We go back to Neverwinter, where a few days ago, you found yourselves there meeting with Gundren. Now, Neverwinter is a glorious city. From its glass lamps to its enormous selection of fruits, peaches, grapes, watermelons, each more succulent than the last, water clocks that the greatest sailors set their time by. And today, we find you inside of Neverwinter, there at a bar, sitting there inside of the Moonstone Mast, talking with Gundren Rockseeker. Now, I have to ask before we begin, as we go into this, what does Gundren sound like? Chris, I asked you earlier, you said Hank Hill. Is that what we want to go with?
Maybe, if you want to do a Hank Hill voice for an indeterminate amount of time.
An indeterminate amount of time. I'll tell you what. Do we want Southern? We want Southern dwarf?
I think having that kind of a Southern twang is good, because is he a dwarf?
He's a dwarf?
Yeah.
Would you like to see him?
I would love to see Gundren.
All right. His art in this book is ridiculous. So tell me, is this a Southern dwarf?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Check
yeah.
the hat.
That's fair. With a bright garish scarf as well. All right, so Hank Hill it is. Okay. You all sit around the table. A dwarf named Gundren Rockseeker sits there. Wide-brimmed hat, with a little prospector's divot in the center. Burly black braided beard cascading down his barrel chest, under which you can see a monogrammed scarf jutting out. He's dressed like he travels and explores the world, and he sits with you. He's excited. I'll tell you what, this is gonna be an adventure like you have never seen before. That's right, going down to the frontier, it's a rite of passage, Sindri. And I think you're gonna really like it, Lady Alessandra. He smiles across the table. Marky, can I get a couple of Moonstone Ales? It's gonna be a good time. So
You always know how to sell me on a job, Dungeon. And
what I do.
adventure sounds like it pays, which is also, unfortunately, something I need to look for.
hey, you ain't gonna do this out of the kindness of your heart?
Well, I am, but also I like to get paid.
Well, I suppose I could. He tussles the ends of his mustache. I suppose I could give you a couple of copper for your trouble, for meals and...
For adventure, Gundren.
Adventure's
For
its
an old
own
friend.
reward. I'm just
I can't pay
joshing you.
taxes.
Look, now, I've heard, Miss Briarfoot, you need to head down to Phandelver. Ms. Mix
I
Lyric?
do.
Miss Lyric? Mix Lyric?
Just lyric.
Lyric.
Just lyric.
What a lyrical name. I hear that you have to make your way down there for your own reasons as well. And, Lady Miss Alizarin?
Carmilla's fine.
Carmilla. What a pretty name. Now, I heard y'all have to make your way down there as well. So, I'm not sure what type of equipment you are proficient in. Mr. Sindri here is very much of a rough and tumble sort. So he's going to be acting as our chief security officer on this endeavor. Now, the rest of you, I see that you were carrying a sharp weapon there. Just Carmilla. And Lady Alessandra, I see that you also have a weapon on hand. So, I'm assuming y'all can take care of yourselves. Well, I'm happy to do so, to let you do so, I should say, and am willing to provide each of you with a stipend. There is quite an amount of goods that need to be made their way down there to my friends there at the general store, where they will fetch a tidy profit. Such a profit, and with several days on the road, I'm willing to offer you a fairly solid stipend of 10 pieces of gold each.
Oh, that sounds good.
If that is
That sounds
acceptable.
fairly respectable.
That does sound fair.
You know, if you don't tell
Alessandra
him
was
it's
waiting
first,
to
he'll
hear the
probably
others
pay
agree
more.
or not before she could tell, is that reasonable?
Anthea would have said anything. She's going there anyway.
You all are terrible at negotiating. Yes, 10 pieces is acceptable. It's a great rate.
I mean, I'm going there anyways, so...
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're going to be taking them to Barthen's Provisions. That's Barthen's. Barthen's. Barthen. Barthen's Provisions.
Barthen's.
Yeah, it's a trading post in Phandalin. Yeah, so you make your way down there. I'm going to be heading out on horseback by myself. Well, not by myself. I'm going to be going there with my pal Sildar Hallwinter. Sindri, go ahead and make me, just roll me a d20 and tell me if you roll high or low.
11. So
That's just barely
medium.
high. You've met Sildar once. He's a human. He's a human fighter type and pretty decent guy. Really kind, really good guy. Always gets the first round of drinks and tries to get the last round at the bar. The one time you drank with him, he listens.
So he's
more
my
than he
favorite
speaks.
kind of guy.
He really is. He's a nice guy, middle-aged human, big strong jaw. Definitely. You know who he reminds you of? He reminds you of that guy from CSI.
Mark Harmon?
No, the one who was in Happy as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the one with,
I know.
with the tank booty.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. You want to see his art? Hold on. See what I mean? Look at him.
Oh. Okay, so
Oh.
much type.
Yeah, that's your type.
Big wow. Yeah.
He's Sildar is daddy.
He buys me my drinks.
Yeah, you'll let him buy drinks. That sounds good. Okay, so
I can
Tennessee
spell.
air horn noise.
So, we're gonna be heading out tomorrow morning. But I gotta ask, I want you all to get to know each other. Do you want to play a game around the table real quick?
Well,
I
that
mean,
sounds
not
quite fun.
particularly, but I will.
Well, let's do a fun one called Two Truths and a Lie.
Oh.
All right, so you tell two truths about yourself and a lie, and one person from the table, whoever wants to take it, will guess the lie, and if they are wrong, everybody at the table has to drink. Normally, it would be you
Carmilla
just.
looks pointedly uncomfortable.
You know what?
Roll to see if he notices. Yeah, he doesn't care.
Would you give an example first?
Well, I'll go first. So basically what you do is you say two things about yourself that are true, and you say one thing that is not true about yourself. For example, I guess if I was, I could say what my father's name was. I could say that I owned a stable or something, and then I could say that I had a flying carpet. And I obviously don't have a father, so
Oh,
something like that,
I was
right?
gonna say you didn't have a stable. I don't know.
See, and this is the fun of the drinking game. So why don't we go ahead and
Well,
start?
you know, that's okay. It's kind of unfair if I play because I don't really drink anyhow.
Well, you got to start somewhere. Come on.
Oh,
Well, we can
okay.
do something. You can do your you can do tea. You could do. I'm sure they have some
I
sort
drink
of.
tea.
Yeah, let's go with tea then.
Okay.
Gundren will not be satisfied unless we at least do one round of this.
I ain't never
I
satisfied.
see.
I know.
That's
But
unfortunate.
we have to start somewhere, Gundren.
It's true. It's true.
I'll go next.
All right. Well, I'll go first.
I-
I'll go first to start us off. All right. Just to be fair. Okay. All right. I have two brothers. I am. I have recently come in to some very interesting knowledge. And my father was a hill dwarf chieftain.
Can I make a history roll?
Yeah, please.
Oh, hang on. I'm trapped. These beautiful extra life boxes are great, except the D20 just rolls.
How does it
You
roll?
can't get it
You
out.
need like sticky bits on the ends of your fingers to be able to pull it out.
Exactly.
Or like, you need to get like a little like fake toilet plunger, like a little suction cup.
Oh my god, yes. Like the ones you do for contacts. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a 19 plus 3. It's a 21.
Well, you know Gundren Rockseeker's history. You know he's a mountain dwarf.
Your father was a mountain dwarf, so the
All
last
right, that
one's
means
wrong?
I got a drink. Here we go. Gotta get another.
If his father was a
Yeah,
chieftain, we would have heard of
damn
it by now.
Ooh.
Oh, that makes sense.
All right, Sindri, you're up.
I have worked in Baldur's Gate. I have worked in Waterdeep. I have worked in Luskin.
Ooh.
This feels unfair.
It is unfair. That's the point.
Oh,
are all three of those real places?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
I think
Christa.
the lie is Luskin.
I think so too.
Well, Lyric, you do know me before, and you've seen me travel to Baldur's Gate and Waterdeep, and you are right. Yes, I have not had anything to do with pirate cities.
Oh,
Okay.
Is it
Well,
because you have anything against pirates, or just
Generally bad news in my previous profession, but
no?
you know we make do.
all right, sounds good. All right, so drink up. All right, who's next?
Lyric, you guessed. You go next.
I suppose that's as good a way as any. I am the. I have 4 siblings. What is good for this? I briefly went to school in Candlekeep, and I And my father is a tiefling.
Well, I know for a fact that you did briefly go to school in Candlekeep.
Where did Carmilla go? She sneak out on us?
She does that.
Oh,
I don't think she wanted to play.
She'll join in the next round.
She does
Well.
that.
I don't know if your father's a tiefling or not. That's my bet. My bet is your father isn't a tiefling.
Any other guesses?
I'm gonna say that one too.
Yes, fine.
Your
My
mom
father's a
was a
boring
tiefling.
human.
Excellent.
Excellent. So now the drink is yours.
yeah, drink up.
Right?
Oh, she back and she brought some stuff.
Oh, thanks for getting the next round.
Yes,
Alright.
of course. Here.
So,
I hope I got it right.
that's okay. You didn't lose anything anyway. But by merit of being the one who left the table, you got a drink now. Or you gotta do your turn. Then we got to drink. So give us 2 truths and a lie.
I am quite skilled with the longsword.
Mhm.
I had a very large dog at making apple pies.
I'll bet it's that dog. Bet you didn't have a big dog.
I really want the apple pie one to be true.
I really want it to be true too. Do you have any apple pie on you?
I don't have one in my pocket, if that's what you mean.
Are you good at apple pie? Is the dog's the lie. You seem more like a cat person.
Yes, I had 2 very large dogs when I was young.
So is the lie you had more than one, or just that you...
Only had one. Or was the lie the apple pie?
I didn't only have one. I always had No, I'm very good at apple pies.
So it's
Yeah, it's really good. I wasn't gonna say anything. I think I should
Oh,
say anything.
that's clever. That's clever. But I
Yes,
guessed it, so you got a
Anthea
drink.
has tried my pies.
Mhm.
You've tried
Oh,
her.
yes, of course, yes.
Anthea's tried.
Do I have to drink the whole thing?
I mean, you do you.
Did you
Oh,
ever
I would
name
just
one
have
of
a
your
sip
dogs
then.
Apple Pie?
That would be very cute.
All right, who's next?
Was
Uh,
one of them named Apple and the other
They
one
were
named
peach
Pie?
and blueberry, actually.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Oh, it reminds me, they got a good peach lager here. Hey, can I get around to that peach stuff?
Why don't I go next? I'll get it over with. Okay, let's see. My parents run a flower shop. I have a younger brother, and I met a goblin before.
Met a goblin before.
I mean, like I've run into one before.
Mm-hmm. All right, anybody got a
the
guess?
sibling questions are really good.
I'm sorry?
The sibling statements are really good. It
Mm.
makes us guess. You could have met a goblin, but the brother is completely impossible to know. Lyric, do you know?
I haven't the faintest clue.
And Lady Alessandra.
Yeah, you guess.
Care to
You ain't
weigh
get
in?
it. You've been quiet.
I don't know. Maybe the flower shop?
Let's go with the flower shop. I'm with you. I trust your judgment.
All right, you.
Is that the guess?
Nervously laughs at that.
I can't show my face, or else you'll know. I have a bad poker face.
Hmm.
So that's the guess then?
Yes, the yes.
I think
Yes.
that's the guess.
My parents do own a flower shop.
No, that means we all got a
There's so
drink.
many things you can do with flowers. That's what I actually use for most of my little brews, is flowers.
And here, I thought you just
Things
Like-
of them.
All right.
picked up random flowers as a child.
No.
All right,
alright,
so
no.
Alessandra, you made it.
But I
So
just
we all got a drink now.
So,
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, everybody drink up. Yeah, like that. All right, Alessandra, you're the last one to go. What you got?
I have an older brother. I speak Abyssal, and my whole family line are paladins.
Your whole family line.
Uh-huh.
The
That's a lot of
whole
people.
family.
Even your
Carmilla
granny?
looks pointedly uncomfortable.
Like, are they all
Everybody.
still practicing paladins? Like, they're still palling
think
around.
statistically
They've all
improbable.
been paladins.
Oh,
It's
Okay,
kind of the
okay.
family.
That's slightly
That's-
different,
still improbable though.
but very impressive.
It's very much.
Unless it's like a forced thing.
Oh,
But even then,
There's
In-
not one rebel.
Everybody's a paladin.
I'm super suspicious of this.
I still say it's statistically improbable.
What was Christa? What was the second one?
That I speak Abyssal.
Right. I don't think you have a brother.
and I don't believe you speak Abyssal.
Well, I think you all have
Yeah,
to.
you got to
agree
pick
on
one. You got to pick one for the party game.
Oh, fine, okay. Then I'll double down on the brother.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you know what?
I'll go with you too because I don't have a brother. That was my lie. So maybe you did the same lie.
All right, then we'll go with the brother lie.
We'll go with the brother lie.
Brother? I don't speak Abyssal.
Oh,
And I called it!
Well, it's us
You have
again.
little faith.
All right, drink up.
I do have a brother. Have several actually.
oh,
But I didn't specify how many.
Oh yeah, me too.
oh, that.
Well,
See, I thought she might have done my dog joke
Haha.
to having multiple brothers. So
well.
And see, I just said I had siblings. I never specified. So for all you know, I might have brothers. I might not. It's like a what is that term? The thing with the cat in the box, but with siblings.
some artificer named Schrodinger, I believe.
Oh
I
yes.
thought I
yes.
thought it was
Right.
Mordenkainen's rabbit.
My whole
Oh,
family
maybe
line
it was
is
that one.
paladins. My grandmother is a paladin. She
Your
doesn't
granny's a
like
paladin.
actively go do it anymore, but
What
Oh, yes.
are you a
who would not
paladin?
have crossed her in her younger days?
Breaking hips and breaking heads.
Whoa.
Are you paladin of a god or a cause or a town or a...
If you cross
We're
your
all
granny,
watches.
does she threaten to smite you?
You don't cross grandmother.
Can another paladin be smote by another paladin?
Well,
I think the
don't
term
know.
is
I'm not a
smitten.
paladin.
Smitten?
I think that's a very different term.
I don't know. I've used them pretty interchangeably.
Yeah, right now.
I think you may have gotten
I
some
don't think-
very mixed
What?
results.
That's Sindri.
Gundren's gonna lean in and do a stage whisper and go, I've been seeing the way Carmilla's been looking at Alessandra. I think she's worried about being smitten.
Gundren.
I spent
Now-
a drama bomb for that, by the way.
Why?
Is it very quiet, or is it actually loud enough for everybody to hear?
Yeah, everybody's gonna hear it.
Alessandra just kind of looks a little clueless.
Why would she smite her?
If Carmilla could blush, she probably would, but she just
I
kind of
wouldn't
like
just go
looks
around smiting
pointedly into her
somebody.
drink.
Gundren, in addition to the job, the next round's on you.
Or the next round's me. I'm gonna go get
Besides,
it right now.
I'm not that good of a paladin yet.
Thank you, thank you.
Well,
Hmm.
hey, I look forward to this adventure. You're all gonna be great. I have complete faith in you. And as he says that, we hop back to the trail. 5 days later, you're looking at the trail. You're seeing the horse's saddlebags looted. And suddenly, an arrow whips out of the tree line next to you. Lyric, is your armor class... Oh boy. Is your armor class... 19?
It is absolutely not. My armor class is 14, I believe.
Do you have anything that you can use to defend? Shield? Anything like that?
I can put my instrument in the way, but I would cry if it got damaged.
All right, so an arrow is going to launch its way out of the bushes and is going to aim itself right at you. I am going to spend a something good happens. You can make me a d20 roll. Tell me what you get.
And I have rolled a 14.
A 14. Okay, you are going to bring your instrument up in the air, and I'm going to reduce your damage by a bit as it kind of banks off there before it hits you. The arrow is still going to slam into you. That is going to be... you're going to take 2 points of piercing damage as an arrow flies across and slams into your upper shoulder, nicking across your vest. And I would like an initiative roll from everyone.
Oh, Butterwort.
That's a 12 for Sindri.
Oh no!
So roll and go ahead and put in the group chat. That'll help me out a lot. Okay, 10, 3.
So, this new set of dice that we bought on my birthday, Kelly.
Yeah.
Guess what the first thing the d20 rolled was?
Nat 20.
Yeah.
Yeah!
I want to know what I rolled? I rolled another 2.
Yeah!
It's
Seven.
beautiful.
This guaranteed this dice is gonna it's gonna be chaotic considering it went out the gate with a nat 20. It's gonna change real fast.
That's great.
It's like,
Okay, so let's go down
lull
to
you into
the
complacence.
list. Okay. So it's gonna be Goblin, followed by Ella, followed by Carmilla, followed by Goblin, Sindri, and simultaneously Lyric and Goblin. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over to our maps. All right, from the brush nearby you, there is a rustle as several goblins lurch out of the undergrowth with arrows prepared. One of them fires a warning shot that's going to zip over Sindri's head and is going to slam into the side, grazing your shoulder, Lyric. And then we're going to go into normal initiative. The first goblin is going to, the northernmost goblin is going to notch an arrow and try to fire it at Carmilla's back. Oh my god, Carmilla, that is a 21.
Oh, no, that's too high. It's actually not going to hit.
Okay, that sounds good. Carmilla, that is going to be 7 points of piercing damage. As an arrow catches
Gross.
you right between the shoulder blades. As the goblin yells out, Briak! Briak! And is going to cackle. Ella, it is your turn. Blood sprays across the field next to you as you see your companion shot with an arrow.
All right. I think she is going to kind of just nod and rush the first one. That is the closest to her. So
All right. Sounds good. So that's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So the growth is
did she make it, or is that rough terrain?
I'm going to spend a something good happens to let you ignore rough terrain.
Ooh, excellent.
So I'm going to say that you get an adrenaline burst and are going to be able to move through the rough terrain to attack the one directly, so goblin number 2, the one to the northeast.
Northeast. Oops.
All right, so you'll basically be able to rush directly north.
So the one that just shot Carmilla in the back.
The one that is about to shoot Carmilla a second time.
Okay, excellent. Let's try and prevent that then.
All right, so go ahead, make me an attack roll.
That is going to be a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that's going to hit a goblin. Make me a damage roll, please.
That's going to be 7 points of damage.
How do you do it?
Slices her. Oh, amazing.
Get on.
I think she's going to come and just probably just do a really neat, like, bisecting swing.
Your first attack against an enemy in your life with a real blade catches the goblin beneath her right arm as she draws back on the bow, and it is going to bisect her directly underneath there, cutting across her rib cage, and she is going to drop to the ground in 2 meaty chunks. Carmilla, it is your turn.
She is going to turn and glare at the goblin that just hit her back. And I presume, yeah, it looks close enough for me to get to.
It does. I'll spend
5, 10,
I'll spend
50.
a something good happens so that you ignore rough terrain.
Okay, I can almost make it in half terrain or in half movement, but not quite.
Not quite.
Cool. I'm gonna go there. Am I like somewhat obscured from the rest of the party?
You're in the brush, so it'd be hard to tell. You don't think so? Basically, you're going through like a thick forest at this point, dodging between trees and undergrowth. So you think that you've got partial cover.
And the person you're nearest to, Alessandra, is kind of trying not to throw up over this corpse that she just created.
Oh, there you go. Okay. I think she's real angry because this thing hit her really hard. She is going to, like, throw her sword. She's going to have her sword back behind her as she darts through the forest, and go to grab this guy. And that's going to be not great to do anything. She's going to try to grab at him and go to bite him.
Okay,
but
what do you have?
I'm pretty sure miss because that's an 8.
That's an 8. Is that your total?
Yep.
Okay.
I rolled a 6.
Okay, that's going to be a miss as you go to bite him. Do you have a bonus action?
Well, can I use a bonus action as an offhand attack?
If you have your longsword out, yeah, sure.
Okay. In that case, I will attempt with my longsword.
I'll spend a something good happens. I've got 3 more, so. Did you botch?
Well, so I rolled a 2, so neither hit regardless.
So, okay, that's fair. All right, so you're going to attempt to, but you're going to feel a surge of pain rack up your back as you try to swing from where the arrow is still embedded next to your shoulder blade. And you just can't quite. And you're going to let out a yelp of pain. And then we are going to cut down to Goblin number 3, is going to notch an arrow and attempt to put it directly between Sindri's eyes. Here we go. Sindri, that is going to be a miss as an arrow flies past you and slams into the ground next to one of the horses. The Goblin's going to let out a kind of shout at you and is going to glare from the southwest bushes. It is your turn, Sindri, and then Lyric and the Goblin are up. What do you do, Sindri?
Sindri will narrow his eyes and mutter "foolish," and then start running up towards the Goblin. It's I can make it in 30 if it's light terrain. If not, I'll have to dash.
It is not, but I have something good happens. There we go.
Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna make an attack with my cutlass.
Okay, sounds good.
And that is a 24.
That is a hit.
All right, so the cutlass has a short sword, light weapon, so I deal 9 points of damage.
How do you do it?
He'll just use like a big brandish. I just like cut him across the chest and then kick his corpse over. And he'll point his sword at the next goblin.
Okay, well, that solves that problem. Lyric, you are no longer tied with the Goblin that Sindri just decapitated.
That's handy. And so, how many goblins are left?
It looks like there are 2 goblins. They're fairly heavily obscured by the tree cover.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're absolutely
Caitlan.
You're absolutely right. It is Caitlan.
Sorry.
Okay. So, thank you very much for reminding me. I knew I forgot somebody. Anthea, as Lyric appraises the situation, what do you do?
Nothing from behind. That was rude. She's going to fire a firebolt at the one that shot at Carmilla,
Okay, that
which
sounds...
is just going to be an incendiary bomb kind of a thing.
Make me an attack roll. I'm going to spend something good happens for you to ignore the visibility.
Okay.
Because of the trees. So go ahead and just make an attack roll as normal.
Let's go. That wasn't good. Let me what do I add to that?
You
That's
should-
going to be 13.
13. Just a reminder, everybody here has determination.
How about I want to use my determination to make it a 15.
That's a
That
hit.
has
Roll me
my-
damage.
Proficiency, right? Sorry.
Yep. 15. Roll me damage.
Nice. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. I don't know why I'm so stuck on that tonight. Let's go. That's 4.
4. All right. Beautiful. Fire is going to explode, covering this one in flame. It's going to let out a shriek. Do you do anything else on your turn, Anthea?
Probably just keep looking back and forth. I don't think I have any bonus actions I want to use.
Sounds good. And the chat just bought you your termination back. So there you go.
Oh, thanks.
All right. Now it is actually Lyric's turn. Lyric, you've taken an entire round to appraise the situation.
Yes, and also look down at my instrument that now has a gash through it from the arrow that struck me.
It actually hit a bit of like the metal casing, so it's just dented.
Yes, however, this is appalling and horrific.
Right.
Now, is the goblin that attacked me still alive? Or did those ones get done away with?
It is the one that shot Carmilla. So the one at the
Right.
north.
Right. Well, in that case, I think that Lyric is going to hold up her instrument, look at it with a look of absolute shock and like absolute distress, I suppose, and will then look up at the goblin and will cast Vicious Mockery and will go on a tangent to say, "How dare you attack my instrument? Have you no appreciation for the arts? I bet you wouldn't understand a proper lyric if it danced naked in front of you, or even a proper tune. Do goblins even have art? I don't even know. But you little cantankerous little cretinous plague sore, how dare you? Carmilla, take a chomp out of that thing, and I'm going to give you Bardic Inspiration with my
All right.
bonus action, and let's see what Vicious Mockery do.
What's my save?
I
I believe it's a
believe
wisdom save.
it will be a Wisdom save.
All right, so I rolled, and my new dice
Is
rolled
it a
to a nat
14
20,
or higher?
and then flipped over to an 8.
Aw, heck yeah. Okay, let me see what I roll for damage then.
I like that we have 2 nobles, and Lyric is the most stuck up of the entire group.
Well, I think both of us are trying to not be nobles.
This is
It's a
great.
tough
Well,
job, but someone
The
has to do
best
it.
part about this is that I rolled the lowest damage I could on the actual psychic damage that it's taking. So it
Okay.
takes 1 psychic damage,
Okay.
but it has a disadvantage on its next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
All right, that sounds fantastic. So that is going to be the end of your round. It is going to be the beginning of its. It is going to let out a snarl and say something. And does anybody here speak Goblin? No one speaks Goblin. And is going to like drop its bow and lash out with its scimitar viciously at Carmilla. Carmilla, you are already kind of lurching from that arrow in your back, but as you do, you are going to notice the blade coming at you at the last minute and are going to deftly deflect it out of the way, parrying it away from where it would have hit you in the side. Thank you, Amy. You just turned an unnatural 20 into a 12, which ain't enough to hit Carmilla. Ella, it is your turn.
All right, well, I think she's going to get a hold of herself, turn to look around and see what's left or where she can hear further combat.
There's a
And see the one
goblin.
nearest them.
There's a goblin to the north of the trail and to the south of the trail. And that is all.
She's going to help with the one that is threatening Carmilla currently.
All right. So rushing through the brush at that, go ahead and make me an attack roll.
That is going to be dirty 20,
That'll hit.
and I'll go as close to that. 9 damage.
9 damage. You are going to follow up your initial impressive attack by hitting this one. How do you take him out?
Because I'm rushing over, I think it's just going to be like a lunge. And just
All right.
skewer them.
It's going to skewer it right through the throat. and it's going to die with its
And she's
tongue.
gonna kind of like
Okay.
react a little bit again, because just like, oh, that's different than training.
Carmilla, it's your turn. What do you do?
She kind of is startled by Anthea's sudden, or Alessandra's sudden presence, and will kind of give you an awkward nod, and then turn to look over her shoulder to see if she can see the other one. But it's on the other side of that cart, right?
You could move through the woods enough to be able to see it if you have a ranged weapon.
I do, and I also have a climbing speed the same as my walking speed. Can I, like, Twilight crawl up a tree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So she'll kind of awkwardly nod to Alessandra and then turn around and, like, all of a sudden be on, like, a way high branch.
Okay.
Like
so
20
you're gonna
feet in the air.
David Bowie up the side of the tree. Here's the question.
Pretty
are you
much,
going
yeah.
like tack 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 with the tips of your toes, or are you going up like David Bowie on the flats of your feet?
I think she's not flat because I actually get that ability later on. So I just have a climb speed right now. So I think she two hands it, like she.
So just
sheathes her
basically just like
sword and
cha-cha. Sounds great.
climb.
So with that is
Exactly.
that is clever. I'm gonna give you advantage on a ranged attack because of the height.
Exciting. And I have a longbow, so I will shoot
Ooh.
with that.
Sounds good. You've got a direct line of sight over the cart. Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
That's a 14 is the highest. Still not great. Plus dexterity and proficiency is +4, so it's 18 to hit.
That's gonna be a hit. Roll me damage.
Hooray! Come to me, D8. Whoopah. That is a 4 plus 2 is 6 damage.
All right, your arrow is going to crank right through the side of this one. Where are you aiming? Like, what part of the body?
Probably center mass, just a better hunting technique.
Your arrow is going to plunge right through its stomach, slamming into it and piercing it, pinning it to a nearby tree. It's going to let out a shriek of pain as it is embedded in that tree. And do you do anything else on your turn? Okay. On its turn, it's going to try to pry the arrow out of itself so that it can run. That is going to be a 7. It is going to snap the arrow using its action and is going to attempt to run, scrabbling to the south. But Sindri, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Sindri's going to like run over towards it,
Mhm.
and I'm going to try and make a non-lethal attack if I can.
Totally. And by the way, just a reminder for those who don't normally do this, non-lethal attacks can be done with any melee weapon attack. There's no penalty like in other systems, just flat of the sword, regular attack, etc.
What if I have boxing glove arrows?
That's even better.
So that's a 14. I am going to add my determination to this as well.
Okay, you are going to crank it.
So that's going to be 5 points of slashing, non-lethal damage.
Much like the sacks of flour in the back of your cart, it is going to go down. Thump. Landing on the ground.
Oh, I guess you've taken care of it. I was gonna do that. But okay, yeah.
So Sindri will drag the goblin by the scruff of the collar with him out to the side of the road.
Okay. Back in the center of the road,
Now,
the goblin has been gathered.
Is everyone okay?
I think at this moment, Alessandra's trying to shake this goblin off of her sword. And if that's not working, she's going to have to kind of like grimacing, put a foot on it and pull her sword out.
Its tongue goes down the entire length of your blade as you push it off. Is it?
She's going to kind of roll it over and wipe her sword on it to wipe the blood off.
There's a thump behind you as Carmilla lands. Sorry, I didn't mean to frighten you. You are clearly a paladin. You did very well.
Thank you. It's very different from training.
Yes, you get used to it. Give her like an awkward pat on the
kind of, like,
shoulder.
Give you the kind of like very tense faced, like trying not to puke nod. And I think she's
Absolutely.
gonna lose that battle because I feel like there's no way you can be in your first battle and not throw up after killing something for the first
So
time.
you do the thing where you give you like a nod and then like a little.
And then she's gonna turn and hide behind a bush real quick.
Oh, Anthea,
Yes.
do you have any of that stomach settling stuff?
Oh, I do. Yes. And are you okay though? She's gonna rush over. Tick, 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 tick.
Oh,
Her little
right.
tiny legs.
Remember, she has a giant. She's gonna kind of crouch down, be like, "Yes, can you get that?"
Oh, I don't know if I can. I don't think I'm strong enough. It's pretty in there. I don't know if we should take it out though right away. I can't actually heal you. And this seems wrong to just take it out and let you bleed.
Well, if you put the bandage over it, I'm sure it's fine.
Okay.
Here, I can do it.
But
I've
Would
been
you like
trained.
a Tic Tac first?
Yes. Here, have a
I'll
Tic
be
Tac.
okay. And she'll turn and like have something to focus on. And now the one thing I get at level 1 is lay on hands.
Yeah.
Which does not work on undead.
Oh, no,
It
no, no,
doesn't.
no, no.
Are you
So
classified
I
as
think your
undead,
secret's
Christa?
coming right out the box
Oh my
right
God.
away.
I'm like 90% sure I count as undead. Hang on.
Okay, hold on. Let's look it up.
Chat, if you know, let us know, chat. But
Dampier 5e, here we go. It's between the worlds of the living and the dead. Creature type, you are humanoid.
oh,
Ooh, so it
I'm
does
not
work.
that dead.
You're not that dead yet.
I think Anthea or Carmilla probably starts to sort of kind of like if Ella pulls the arrow out and then goes to like lay hands, Carmilla will start to be like, I don't think that will work.
And then you feel
Why wouldn't it work? I'm fine. I'm good at this.
a blessed, holy warmth flows through your back. And you feel the wound knit. The pain dulls to nothing.
So I only have 5 hit points at this level to dispense.
You give them
I have 7 points of damage, so
I will just use the max of it at this point. Because I'm sure I can long rest again.
Right?
Okay. It's 5 times your paladin level, so 5 times 1 is still just 5.
Mhm.
Oh, that gets really good though. Really quickly.
Could I get some assistance bandaging this? I've kind of got I think there's like a little bit of a, where the arrow nicked lyric. It's a little bit of blood like dribbling out.
Certainly.
I have band-aids. Oh, here, let me just see. Or not bandages, sorry. They kind of stick though. It's something I've been trying. And chook! Just gonna slap it on.
What
Oh, that's
makes
really
them
handy.
different from other. Oh,
You don't wrap it around, so you can put it
just
anywhere.
stays stuck.
It just
Oh,
stays
that's
stuck.
quite stuck. I feel like
Thank
it's
you.
going to hurt when I take it off, though.
It's like tar.
yes.
You just
Have you
wash it off.
Considered ever doing the
Yeah,
longer bandages
exactly.
and just having one end sticky so it could stick to itself after doing a bigger area?
Oh, I'll have to sketch it, but that sounds like a good idea.
Sindri's kind of like bemused looking at this goblin he's knocked out while everyone else is talking about bandages. There may be more of them. So
What?
Oh, yes.
Bandages?
Oh,
usually
gonna
are.
go find her
Goblins.
water,
Goblins. Right.
her water
goblins.
skin and
That makes sense.
The
can someone
goblin.
gather the
We should
horses?
go.
Okay.
I've got them. I've
Yeah.
got them.
I'll come over to Sindri and so he's not dead.
Not yet. And Sindri will make sure to disarm him and throw his weapons into the cart.
Sounds good.
Oh, they stink.
Where is he? Where are they going? Are you bringing them with us?
No. And he'll like
should
tap
I
the
go
goblin
check
away.
the others in case
Oh.
they have anything on them?
What? Who there? Who's there? Who are you?
Hi there.
Very good point.
Oh,
You speak common.
yeah. I speak good common.
Good. That's excellent. What's your name?
Curd.
Curd? Pleasure to meet you, Curd.
Blah.
Where's Gundren Rockseeker?
Where's your mother?
I
Oh, my
punch him.
friend.
Blah.
He passes out again.
Yeah, if you do want to check the others for other equipment, that would be helpful.
I'll go do that. The horses are tied up.
I'll help
Okay.
you.
I'll direct you. I don't want to touch them.
Now, we can't keep knocking him out. That's very bad for him.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Yes, Lyric.
Well,
So I rolled investigation to go examine look for things on the bodies, and I got a nat 20.
Beautiful. So,
That's a 25.
you know what? I'm gonna spend
All
your
the prayers for Amy's dice.
I'm going to spend your last something good happens for you. Looking through the collections, you're going to find each one of them has a short bow as well as a scimitar. So that's 4 and 4 of those, as well as a contingent of about 20 arrows each. As well,
How do the weapons stink? How?
And then on one of them,
suppose
you are
in a
going to find
disgusting
two things that are
environment, they must
paradoxical.
look
One is the female one that was killed by Ella is going to have a small pouch that is full of rose petals and soap.
Well,
This seems a little...
I think it's clear
Unusual.
that they didn't use that.
No. My nose is very clear on the fact that they have not used this. Ever.
They
How do
probably
they
stole
even
that
know
from
what it
Gundren.
is? Do they think it's like a snack?
And as you pick it up, you're going to hear something rattling around inside.
And there's something inside. I'll go rooting
What's
through it.
inside?
Buried beneath it, you are going to find a pair of old, slightly tarnished silver wedding rings.
Was Gundren married?
I didn't know him well enough.
I
No,
don't
he was
know
not.
yet. I didn't ask.
Not that I've known him, and I've known him for a minute.
Well,
Only a minute?
I'm gonna take a
Wish it
closer look at
longer.
these bands to see if there's
Why did
any
you say
engravings.
that?
So there are some engravings. One of them says to Kiefer, my one true love, and the other says to Martasha, my beloved.
Well, I have found some rings. Well, they don't seem to belong to Gundren. Anyone familiar with Kiefer and Mortasha? They're not ringing bells for me.
You can make me a history roll looking
can I
at the
make
rings.
a hist?
Yeah, please. You can make a history
I
roll.
would like to make
Anybody
a
wants to
history
take a
roll.
look at these?
History roll with what?
Yeah,
looking at the
let's
rings.
figure it out.
Okay.
I've read lots of books.
Oh, hey, another 2.
In
So
my
that's
life.
a 7.
Nat 20!
Okay, so looking at these rings, they look like they're a style of Sword Coast wedding rings that haven't been popular in at least 100 years. As well, they look very tarnished. Like you're thinking these goblins probably looted them out of a corpse. Looking at them, they kind of have that smell of rotting flesh on them as well.
Ew.
Which the
Yeah,
rose
I don't think the petals helped much. Yep, that sure sounds like carrion.
Gross.
What's going on?
Do you think they looted a tomb?
Bleh.
Mm,
Well, from what I've read of goblins, that's
grave robbers?
quite
What?
likely.
Where am I?
Hello, Curd.
Bleh.
Oh.
How you know my name?
Hello, grave robber.
What? I don't
Oh wait,
upgrade.
sorry, that wasn't it wasn't from him.
We had a chat break previously briefly. My companion knocked you out when you asked where my mother was. Now, your friends here are all dead.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry to tell you. However, we can come to an arrangement where we let you go if you tell us what you need to know, or what we need to know.
oh.
Make me a persuasion check. With advantage, because all of his friends are dead and you have him tied up.
Yeah.
So 17.
17, he's going to look at you. this little wretched goblin, kind of yellowy green skin, notched ears where he looks like he's been in a fight, kind of like a stray cat, you know, with the huge chunks taken out. Lots of piercings, including one like bull ring in the middle of his nose. He's gonna look up at you and go,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I figured we could come to an arrangement.
I tell you what you need to know. I take you to captives. Eh?
Captives, plural. Yes, perfect. If you do try and betray us, my friend here will do the thing she did with her sword previously. That was pretty gross, and cut them in half. And by them, I mean you.
You killed my cousin.
Did you like your cousin?
No.
See, we can come to an arrangement.
Okay.
No.
You know, don't kill Kurd. Kurd has a lot of
No.
things going on.
I'm not going to kill Kurt. I'm not interested in killing Kurt.
Kurd not interested in being killed.
Perfect. Now, let's go find those captives, please.
Oh.
and with that, you gather your party and adventure forth. Which I think we're going to do more of after we take a quick break. And folks, also I have something special as we come back from break, so definitely stick around where you see the new Dork Tales channel trailer that is going to be on all of our social media starting tomorrow. So see you in just a minute, everybody. Don't go anywhere. Bored? Looking for something to entertain you? It's time to join the adventure. Hello and welcome to Dork Tales. This is Critical Role Call of the Netherdeep. Wild Beyond the Witch Light, Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age, The Shards of Nirn, The Reign of Emrys, Vampire the Requiem, Party Monsters, Utopia North. This is Alien. Mage the Ascension, Breaking Tradition, Vampire the Masquerade, Victoria by Night, Call of Cthulhu, Scion Heroes for the Holidays, Rime of the Frostmaid, Werewolf the Forsaken, Dirge for Exilar, Cyberpunk Red Spitfire, Technocracy Reloaded, Raiders of the Lost Bark, Mage the Ascension, 1999, Hunter the Vigil Summons, Demon the Descent, Spelljammer Light of Xerxes, Deadlands Blood Drive, yeah! Dreams of Arcos, They Came from Beyond the Grave, Alien Destroyer of Worlds, Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. This is Critical Care.
Hello and welcome to Dork Tales.
Welcome to the party. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is the part of the program where we're going to talk to the chat for a bit. So welcome to episode 1 of Phandelver and Below. How you guys, you having fun?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
immensely.
Fun.
So much fun.
All right. That is the new channel trailer for our Twitch and YouTube channels. So thank you so much. That was Christa's concept video that I ballooned up into a lot of me saying hello, hello, hello. Yeah.
Exactly.
How are you guys enjoying this so far? I know it's pretty basic. I was trying to figure out, like, I wanted to give you guys... This module's a little weird because it jumps right into the action, right? And I'm like, oh, but I need you guys to, like, at least kind of know each other. But I didn't want to start, and the module was like, oh, maybe you can start them in Neverwinter and have, like, a slow, a really boring intro that nobody wants to watch, you know? You want the character build, but you don't. So I was like, oh, we'll jump back and forth, and we'll go back and forth and kind of figure it out that way.
It's like, or we could do a drinking game.
We could do a drinking game. Always.
Yep.
I mean,
So now we played Never
Truth
Have
is
I
No
Ever.
Lie, Never
Truth is
Yep.
a Lie.
We're just going through drinking games here on Dork Tales.
Oh, just wait till we play Truth or Dare.
Oh
It's,
dear.
it what
Oh,
happened
God.
in Strixhaven.
That?
Oh no.
Did it?
Oh, we did that in Strixhaven. You're right.
Ooh.
Okay,
Mhm.
so then have we done
Oh, it was Never Have I Ever was
was what Leiden did.
Yeah.
Have we done Spin the Bottle?
Whoa.
Well, no, we did make out Mountain in Strixhaven as well.
That just
Right?
surprised me.
So much making out in Strixhaven.
Yes.
Folks, we also have a giveaway at the end of our stream tonight. So if you are watching this live, Christine, what is it? Is it Phandelver? Is it?
if I could find the mute button, unmute button, exclamation mark Phandelver is the keyword. Type that in the chat to enter the giveaway.
With a PH, like fat.
Okay.
Exactly how it's on our screen.
And I am going to pin it for manually unpinned at end of stream. Boom. There we go. So everybody type Phandelver. And the only thing is that if you're playing this game, you can't win. So I'm sorry, folks.
Nar.
It's
No.
okay. I know I can never win.
You can never win.
Oh,
With my
Correct.
dice rolls, honestly,
Yeah.
You're required to roll
I
above
do
a
not
7.
succeed at
Well,
games
we're-
of chance.
we're coming from Neverwinter.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Sometimes winter.
God damn it, Caitlan, how dare you.
Are we giving away the oxen? Yes. In dice form. They've been polymorphed.
There were so many good ox names in the chat.
There was Oxnard.
I was
Also,
so
can we
happy with them.
We've
I
only
like
been
Ox
halfway
Ox.
through the first game, and we are like so amazingly distinctive as characters and as a party already.
Mm-hmm.
but not as distinctive as the
Very
oxen
excited.
because look at these haircuts.
Oh,
Good friends, good friends, good,
Good
friends.
friends.
stuff.
Amazing.
I gotta admit, I was really down on this book when I first got it because like, oh, the pages are like, they're using like a really glossy paper that feels weird. However, it takes highlighter, and yes, I highlight my books because I run them for game and it's a job and it makes my life easy. But it takes highlighter like I've never seen a D&D book take before. It's really nice. No bleed.
There you go.
I'm very excited about that. So how's everybody doing? Anything we want to chat about? So thank you for being here at Phandelver 1. Players, you're doing a really good job. I'm enjoying your characters immensely.
Thank you. We didn't die to goblins.
We did not.
Spoilers.
Goblins.
I guess
happy
if you're
about
just
that.
jumping in now.
I forgot to bring something up a couple games ago, and I would like it's not specific to this game, but I told the chat or like told our crew a while ago, but I got recognized at a red light by someone. They pulled up beside me and shouted out their window and said, "Are you from Dork Tales?" And it was very
Truly
cool.
incredible.
But I felt it was truly amazing. It was very, very cool. But I felt awful because I was like desperately looking around my car to see if I had stickers or something to give to this guy. So if you were the guy in a black pickup truck on their way kind of towards White Rock and you noticed me in my really shitty 99 Honda Civic, DM me go in the Discord and find me. And
Yeah, join the
we'll get
Discord,
you some-
folks.
Yeah, if you're not in the Discord already, join the Discord. But
The Discord's where all
also
the
find
cool
me,
people
and I will bring you some stickers.
For those who are not familiar with me, I live in the Discord.
Yes,
Basically,
it's
I
true.
run it.
Correct.
It's the rent's cheap. So that's good.
It's honestly.
It's pretty good. Also, a big thank you to everybody who's on our Patreon. I want to say thank you for, I'm a little late getting some stuff out. I normally get stuff out toward the middle of the month, an early month, and I'm a little late because I'm on this trip. And it's like my mom's birthday tomorrow, so I had to come down for that. I've been experiencing American culture. I bought Yoo-Hoo. I haven't had Yoo-Hoo in like 15 years. For
What is
Canadians,
that?
it's like it's a chocolate drink.
What? Like a chocolate milk,
Sort of. It's like watered down chocolate milk.
but less milk? Oh, more milk.
Oh,
Less
it's
milk,
like
it's just
when
definitely-
people try and do
Oh, it's
like,
got high fructose corn syrup in it now. Ooh, yay.
is that like when people try to make like Ovaltine, like
Yep.
buy the
It's
recipe
basically
and it's just,
Ovaltine.
like- and it's just like
Oh,
watered
okay.
down, kind of like a hint of a memory of chocolate, and they try and pass it off as like, this is chocolate.
The internet at my
fine. Maybe
mom's
with
is
more
pretty
dairy in
good,
it.
chat. If you're asking, it's pretty good. My stepdad's like a big tech nerd. So when I was setting up his office today for this, I was like, hey, do you have a monitor I can borrow so that I can actually like see the map? And he's like, I got 2 TVs in the garage. So brag to deck spare TV up because, you know, they're old Midwestern people, which means they've got so much crap. Also, I'm on clean out the garage duty while I'm here. I'm basically the whole like, hey, when you went to college, I kept all your stuff. And it's been 20 years or something like that. It's been like 15, whatever years. So clean out your stuff. And I'm like, okay, fine. I got a lot of stuff and a lot of weird stuff that I'm like, ooh, I shouldn't be looking at this. This is from a different time in my life.
Oh no.
Finding teenage love letters are weird.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah. And photos you forgot about.
Y'all had
they're the
love
worst.
letters?
When
We're gonna experience that.
Wow.
When I moved last year, I found letters that I had taken from Vancouver to Victoria and back from my first boyfriend, who I went to his wedding 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
That's so
wow.
cool.
That is neat.
That is really cool.
Very funny to look at that and go, those were different people.
It's so weird, right?
Mhm.
What gets me is looking at stuff and seeing like nice things that previous partners say about you, and you're like, you know, in the sweet like, you know, happy birthday, you are this to me, etc. But then you're like, oh, you know, people have been saying that for like 20 years now. Different partners that don't even know each other. Maybe they're actually, and you start going through that whole like, you know, oh, they don't know. They're just being, oh, maybe they actually know something. Maybe I am kind of cool. All right, it's kind of nice.
The people in your life like you.
Bullshit.
What?
Shut up.
Sounds fake.
That
Dude, I
sounds
had
fake, but
I had something for
okay.
lunch today called vampire tacos.
What? What's
That's
that?
delicious.
They're
Did
like,
they eat you?
no, but what?
So
Okay.
fucking jealous.
So I
They look
I
so
sent Christine
good.
what they were. So they're at this place called the Yard House in Kansas City, and not sponsored. Would be sponsored. The tacos are pretty good. So they are they're tacos like street taco sized that are fried in cheese, as in they're cheese coated. So it's a cheese crusted tortilla with carnitas, bacon, garlic, crushed avocado. But like, hold on, look at this. That's how much cheese is coming off of the shell.
Whoa.
Oh my
Wow,
god.
delicious.
America. Guys, I'm so bloated. It's so weird going from the west coast of Canada down to Kansas. Like the food, man.
Oh, you know what I've been craving lately? Waffles. Like, do you
Oh,
remember?
man.
Is West Coast Waffles even still open?
It's still a
I
thing.
think
Because they
so,
used
yeah.
to be open at like 2 in the morning for like your after
I don't
pub.
think it's
like, after-
open that late.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I did
But
pass
still.
it the other day,
Mm,
like
I might have
yesterday,
to-
and I'm pretty sure it was still open.
Let's go get waffles.
Go get
I got
waffles.
some bubble waffles at the mall yesterday, and I was like, "Damn, I wish I hadn't had lunch." And bubble waffles.
Bubble
it's
waffles, you know
like,
what?
Oh yeah, like Bubble
Yeah.
Queen or something.
Yeah.
Probably,
I think
yeah.
that's a thing, and I think they have bubble waffles. But yeah.
They're so good.
All right.
I had blueberry pancakes today.
Ooh.
I like pancakes with blueberry stuff that I got for free because I do lunch hour supervision, and when there's leftover food, the lunch ladies ask me if I want food.
Nice.
That's so good. So anyway, we're all getting very bloated on carbs is what's happening. I'm going to have to work out so hard when I get back to Canada next week. It's just going to be like just gym ratting for the rest of my life. Well, folks, I think it's about time for us to hop back into game. Everybody good to go? Christine, you're just
Yes.
eating popcorn, right? You're good? I want popcorn.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, Bubble Queen's in Richmond. I found it.
Yeah. And I'm having pasta tomorrow for my mom's birthday, which is going to be, it's carb. It's carb,
Nice.
guys. Okay. Anyway.
I had delicious
uh,
pasta today.
Did you?
Yes.
Nice.
Tortellini with also pesto and beef, and it was very good.
Beautiful.
Sounds amazing.
And it was homemade, and I didn't make it, and it was very good.
Oh, that sounds great. All right, so let's drop our pens and let's pick them up. All right, folks, let's head back into game. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Phandelver and Below. It's going to be great. I'm actually really looking forward to the second half of this campaign, which I find that most Wizards of the Coast modules, they start really strong and then they finish kind of weird. like they kind of wrote the beginning and they took lots of time, and then at the end they're like, oh shit, this has to go out next month, and they kind of rush. This one feels like they're the benefit of them kind of reimagining an existing campaign is that they didn't have to do all that front work. So with the back work, they can get real weird and real creative. And between this and the upcoming Planescape campaign that starts next month, I'm really excited because Planescape is going to be the weirdest campaign I've ever played. And I'm really excited. So don't spoil yourself, anybody. But I am so impressed with what they have planned. I hope they can pull it off, and I hope I can pull it off. So please join us for Planescape next month. And every other Sunday. Or every Sunday? I'll let you know. I think it's every other Sunday, right, Amy? Yeah, it's every other Sunday.
The off. I hope it's not. Is it the off Sundays from
Arcos? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Any given Sunday.
Basically, I'm busy every Sunday.
We're just hanging out. Gotta go to.
Yeah.
You gotta go to game church.
Yeah.
You're very devout.
Take me to church.
Gurch. It just sounds the worst. Be sure.
Yeah,
That sounds like something you need to make sure you wash.
You can wash your Gurch, everyone.
Wash your Gurch. You don't want a dirty Gurch.
No! Oh my god, I hate it. Please don't use that word ever. I don't even know.
Stickers, buttons, t-shirt.
Someone make a you don't want a dirty Gurch shirt.
No, what you need to have is a shirt that says "Take me to Gurch."
Take me to Gurch. This is the worst
And then
thing that's
brackets
ever
next to it
happened
to
in the history of
explain.
this channel. Oh my god.
Take me to Gurch.
That's
Rolling
the vicious
some dice,
mockery
Fitz, get
that
there.
lyric rolls out.
Roll me some dice, gonna go to... Anyway.
I kept muting and unmuting and muting
Officially
and
a
unmuting,
vampire.
and I just couldn't say anything.
You couldn't breathe.
That's awful.
It's awful.
That's just so bad. Anyway, I couldn't breathe. No, and
Anyway.
I couldn't think, and no.
My jaw's starting to hurt from holding it in.
Just let it
Hey,
out.
Gurch.
It's a real pain in the Gurch.
Just relax your jaw and let the Gurch in. I feel like
Getting further and further away from a concept of anything actually that exists.
I thought you were going to say every day we stray further and further from Gurch.
I can't even look at y'all right now.
All right. Okay. Anyway, thanks for this behind the scenes moment where we talk to the chat and talk to each other about Gurch. Oh.
All right, Jen, if you are in too much pain from coughing and you can't start laughing, why are you watching us?
Yeah, that's what we do. We make
You know who
We're
we
the
are.
best. And she loves us.
Why
The
was
pain is a small price to pay.
it's the small price to pay? Let's pay some more prices here on Dork Tales. You guys ready? Let's hop back in. Welcome back to Phandelver and below here on Dork Tales. You have the goblin tied up in front of you, and he gives you a look up and down.
I'll tell you everything if you want. But promise let me go. Yeah?
Once you've told me everything and brought me to the captives, yes. I have your weapons.
Yeah.
We'll keep a hold on those, and you'll leave with your life.
Kurd goblin of Cragmaw. Our leader is a bugbear named Clark. Clark works King Kroll, leader of Cragmaw band. Lives in Cragmaw Castle. Nice place. In Neverwinter Wood. Few days ago, King Kroll sends message to Clark saying the spider was paying Cragmaw's capture Gundren Rock Seeker and bring anything he's carrying to King Kroll. Clark followed King Kroll's orders. We grab Gundren. Personal effects. Take all the stuff to King Kroll. We have friend, human. Capture too. He in the eating cave.
He licks his lips slowly at that.
And where's this eating cave?
Not far. Where most of cousins live.
Do you have more cousins with him there now?
There's
Oh, he's tied up. Never mind. He's gonna kind of like look at his toes and start wiggling them.
and 1, 2, 10. 10 and a half. 10.
Okay.
Ten.
If we take you to your cousins, will you let us free your friend? If there's a way we can get him there and free him without killing all of your cousins.
You kill our cousins?
If they don't let us leave with our friend, yes.
You kill cousins. Kurd gets promotion.
Yes, probably.
Yes, kill all cousins. Fight them. You want to take friend.
We're not really entertaining the idea of going after a mob of goblins, are we?
Moblin.
Well, here's the catch. If we don't find Gundren and our other friend, whose name I absolutely remember right now.
Oh, I had it written down.
I also have it written down on Sildar.
There you go.
And if we don't rescue Gundren and Sildar, we don't get paid. And also, Gundren is my friend, and Sildar buys me drinks. So I would fight.
Also, friend.
You know what? I would fight a mob
it's
of
the right
goblins
thing
for
to do, right?
Sildar. Well, right thing to do or not, I'd rather do it.
Fine.
It will be terribly good fodder for a song lyric.
What? You quiet. I can't hear. What she muttering about?
Things far beyond your puny brain can comprehend.
No, lady that shot me. Says things. What'd you say?
I told her it would make a good song if we were to fight a bunch of goblins.
Well,
As I said.
you travel? You fight other goblins?
I generally host, but I do travel as well. Now, we go. How about we go now?
You fight other goblins. Strange goblins?
Not yet.
No.
What strange goblins are you talking of?
There are other strange goblins here. They have weird heads. Long heads, like bug.
Like
Okay.
this or like this?
Yeah. Like the up,
Like
down, up, down.
pincers? Oh, like
Yeah, like you just made. Like you just, hands tied, can't show. But long back,
Yeah.
tall skull.
Let's go.
I see.
And they attack. Weapons burn green.
Weapons.
They show up.
Oh,
they fight
Sindri
next
will look back at you in confusion. Like
They fight with Craigmaw, then they leave going, cackle, cackle. Not introduce, not say nothing. Weird goblins. Kurd doesn't like weird
That is
goblins.
pretty odd par for the course as far as goblins go from as far as I
Weird by goblin standard.
Anthea, have you heard of something like these blades?
Have I heard of something like that in books?
Make me an Arcana roll.
Arcana.
Can I roll to see if these goblin description seems something otherworldly or normal?
You can absolutely make me an Arcana roll as well.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. There are a number of spells that could do that. Wait till Alessandra rolls. What do you got?
Okey-dokey.
21.
21. Okay, so between the two of you, Anthea, you know that there are a number of spells that can do that type of thing. A green flame blade definitely can. So perhaps maybe some of these goblins are casters of some variety. Maybe one of them
picked it up somewhere.
exactly. Maybe one of them's a wild magic sorcerer or something, right?
That does
Alessandra,
weird stuff.
they absolutely could be tapping into energies from other realms of reality to power their magic.
Ooh.
So between the two of you, yeah, this is weird.
But not impossible.
I don't think we're looking to start fights with other people yet. But if we can just get your cousins out of the way and get Sildar back, that'd be great.
I take you.
Start with your cousins. Yeah, great. Let's do that now. Before they get suspicious.
Suspicious? Don't be suspicious.
Do they post guards?
Yes.
Where? Oh, well, when we get close, you can point them out for us.
Okay. But you know, let Kurd go. Kurd yell. Big loud.
Yeah, we won't let you go. You can stick around with us.
What?
I might just murder my.
I think Kurd wants to be free, but with us. Is that right?
If you no let me go. I yell big.
Untied.
If we don't let him go when we've agreed,
Yeah.
he will
Oh,
be
yeah,
very
yeah.
upset and yell loud. Right now, he's with us.
Yeah. That work for you? We'll let you go once you lead us there.
Yeah. Then you kill me, get promotion. Yeah.
Yeah. And you said this king kidnapped Gundren for a reason?
Maybe. No reason.
Okay.
When is
But do you know where him and his personal effects went?
Didn't he say something about spider?
Maybe eating cave.
Okay, we'll start with the eating cave and work from there. He did say something about the spider and the Neverwinter Forest.
Yeah.
That's where Craigmaw Castle is, he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Where King is. Or King?
King. Yeah.
Where the king is.
King Groll.
King Groll.
Okay. Let's start with the eating cave, I guess. I really don't like saying that. Does anyone else have a bad,
What's an
gross
eating
feeling about
cave?
going to the eating? Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like the cave's going to eat us.
I mean, it sounds like it's a cave where they eat things or prepare things
What?
to be eaten.
Which is
That's what I
also
thought.
probably
But it's more the things
disgusting.
they're gonna eat,
Yeah, it's
which
not the
living
best.
things is kind of. Ugh.
Me take you.
Perhaps
Now.
we just
Okay.
follow the dining hall.
Not hall.
That
Cave.
sounds weird.
That almost sounds.
The
worse.
dining. Kurd, lead the way, please.
Okay. Help up.
He kind of struggles.
She'll pick him up and put him on his feet.
Thanks. This way.
And he'll grunt. As you're looking around, can I get a survival roll off of anybody who's just kind of keeping an eye on the area?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Nice. 17.
16.
Dirty 20.
Right. Whoa,
Holy
no.
crap. You guys are all super.
I'm watching Kurd.
Okay. Everybody who's not watching Kern distinctly is going to look around the area, and they're going to see that it looks like this area has been used as a staging ground for ambushes for quite some time. There are a number of trenches that have been haphazardly dug along the tree line. There are myriad arrowheads embedded in trees that they kind of just like, if they can't dig them out, they just break the shaft of the arrow off. So there are lots of places where it looks like this has been used to the benefit of these goblins. Now, as you were here, there is a place nearby that you think that you can stage the oxen, tie them up so that they'll be safe off the road from bandits for a little bit. So if you guys want to do that, you absolutely can. And as you are doing that, Kurd is going to be happy to guide you to this place, begrudgingly happy, but still happy nonetheless. And as you make your way through the forest, make me I want Sindri to make me a persuasion roll again.
Do I still have advantage?
Yes.
Bleh. My advantage got me a 9.
Okay, sounds good. He walks you to the north, moving along the trails and the bits of little woodland. You find yourself walking over old pine needles and all manner of fallen trees and rotting moss, mushrooms, and so on. Can I just ask real quick, does anybody here... you know what? Never mind. As you are walking through the woods, I'm going to just spend that, and let's go with... Lyric, can you do me a favor? Can you make me a dex save, please?
Sure. I think I may have broken the trend because it was not a 2, as I was anticipating.
Was it a 3?
No, in fact, I rolled another 19, so it's going to be a 25 if it's a dex save, or 24 if it's a dex save.
Okay, so as you are walking through the woods, you are going to suddenly hear a snap in the undergrowth, the sound of a breaking bough, and then... and a snare is going to start like wrapping around the heel of your boot right as you impassively just lift your foot. And it's going to just not snag you at all, and is instead going to go and just launch itself into the air.
So, watch out for traps, I would say.
Oh my goodness.
What strange traps?
Hey.
Never would have seen that. Oh, new traps.
Little piece of...
Hey, Curd.
Mm-hmm.
Any more traps coming?
No traps.
Do you want to walk in front of me?
Can I
Okay.
insight this goblin?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna roll a deception roll. I'm spending a hurt them more.
This would be insight, right?
This would be insight versus his deception. Our
Brilliant.
go-
I got a total of 11.
Our goblin's proficient in deception. They're not, but still.
So you're like, he's like, no, it's the last one that I know of.
Okay, maybe he does. It is the last one he knows of.
I
The
don't
first
know.
one and the last one? Okay.
Am I going to regret making a deal with you, Curd?
Yes, you are going to regret making a deal with him. He's a goblin.
I mean, he has a chance to be a good person.
He says in
He tried
goblin.
to kill us.
I mean, we tried to kill him.
Yeah,
He tried
that's
to kill us
fair.
first. It's not fair. Ambushed
Listen.
us. Tried to kidnap our friends. It's not the same.
Alisandra's
true.
going to kind of point her sword at the goblin and just be like, there better not be more traps. And I'd like to roll intimidation.
I would like you to roll intimidation. Please do.
Nat 20.
There might be more traps. I wouldn't know.
Maybe you should point them out.
If I don't know where traps are, I can't be held accountable.
But they're your type of traps, so you should be able to see them. I think you should go first.
Yes, please lead the way.
That's a good idea.
Okay. I go.
With that, he will start waddling ahead. I'm assuming you have him like wrapped in rope on a leash, basically.
Yeah, it's
Like his
it's
arms
like the
tied.
toddler leash.
The toddler leash with his arms on the side. Okay, he is going to waddle ahead, and as he is walking, oh my god, he's gonna walk through the woods, and he's gonna be like,
See, me, Curd being good goblin. Not leading you into
now I
traps.
suddenly feel quite bad about this.
I don't want to get skewered by mean lady.
Is this ethical?
I mean, she's not the mean one.
the who's mean one, and suddenly you're going to hear the sound of snapping twigs and branches, and Curd is going to go and just vanish from view. Carmilla, can you please make me a strength saving throw since you're the one that was watching him and holding the leash?
Sure.
I'm going to spend a hurt the more for you to roll with disadvantage, please, because it's a surprise.
Okie dokie. That is a 9.
Okay, so Kurd is gonna vanish, and Carmilla's gonna kind of go, what? Where did he? And suddenly the loop that you have wrapped around your arm so he can't break goes, whoo, and it pulls you down into a pit trap.
Oh
Carmilla!
my god.
Can you? Okay, so can you please make me a dexterity save?
Oh no, I'm not good at those. But I rolled well. That is a 21.
Okay. So you are going to, with your strange spider climby style abilities, or at least your climbing speed, going to be able to slow your fall a bit down this hole. And you're just going to take 2 points of damage as you smash into the ground, landing on Kurd.
Are you mean, lady?
You're not as good at fighting these.
Carmilla, are you alright? Calling down the hole.
Yeah.
Over.
It's awfully deep hole.
How deep is this pit?
So it's about 10 feet deep and it looks about 6 feet wide. It's a really well camouflaged pit trap.
So, anyone have any rope that we're not using to tie up?
It's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. Sindri catch, and we'll throw the goblin.
Oh, I'm...
Catch a whole goblin.
The goblin is unconscious again. You can see little swirls in his eyes. He's got birds flying around his head.
The birds can carry him up.
Sindri will look to Lyric and she's like, this may not be ethical. I think we should probably stop doing this.
Yes.
I feel a little bad about this.
I think he's absolutely disgusting and atrocious, but I do think that having a mostly defenseless and forced to walk through traps. So what do we do?
We let him go.
Oh, I really don't like that idea. Oh, I have an idea. I have an idea. I'm gonna cast sleep.
I think
Okay.
he's pretty unconscious.
He has 0 hit points, so that'll be easy.
I would like him to. I want to leave him to stay asleep until we are far away. Is the hope here? It's kind of like. Just like,
Okay,
just
so
going to
Do we
just
not
give
need
me a
him to
second.
lead
I'm just
us?
going to start
Yeah,
like doing playing her instrument a little bit, just to like kind of lull him to sleep, and there's a like little like a nice little like.
Was it not the point that he was to lead us to their
Yes.
camp?
Yes, well, clearly he's an inadequate guide.
I would
So,
prefer that
I
he
think-
finds their traps than us.
Yes, well,
Considering
we
they-
had him tied up. And that seems pretty unethical to me.
Dungeon Master,
Yes.
is there like an obvious trail or trap?
There, for those of you who got your survival rolls, yes, there is an obvious trail you were following.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay. And I will use like the rest of the rope to tie him up to the tree while he's asleep.
A giant spit bubble just goes blub, 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 out of his mouth, and so he's more of a me than a honk shoe. So, me. He just starts like snoring. He's actually surprisingly cute when he's snoring.
Carmilla, do you need a handout?
Drink all blood.
Oh, no, I don't.
Grind bones.
We are kindred spirits. No, I'll be perfectly okay. I assume that with the climb speed and with pythons, I can make my way up the side.
You
What
can
was
just
that about
climb. It's
kindred
actually not that steep.
Cool. I'll be alright. Thank you. And just like at regular walking speed, we'll climb up the side of this
Yeah.
thing.
Okay, so you easily make it back up the side, tying Kurd up, and with that, you are 1 goblin down.
Shall we continue? Do you know?
Yeah.
Does anyone know where we're going?
Sindri will point to the trail.
Ah.
Yeah. I mean, 10.5 goblin feet can't be wrong.
Okay. Let's go.
God. I brought this on myself.
You did. What did you expect?
I don't know. I don't know at this point. Okay.
You'd forgotten.
I'd forgotten. I'd forgotten. All right, so with that, you continue to the north. Making your way that way, you can find that the trail easily winds north. And as it does, you're going to see that there is a small stream that is kind of flowing into a cave system up ahead of you. For all intents and purposes, from here on in, whenever I talk about the stream, it is a small 2-foot wide stream that, pardon me, a 2-foot deep stream that kind of slowly flows through the cavern ahead of you. Easy to cross, easy to deal with. As you approach, you are going to see that the Goblin's Trail ends in a cave in a hillside, about 5 miles overall from the scene of the ambush. A shallow stream flows from the cave mouth, which is screened by dense briar thickets. A narrow, dry path leads into the cave on the right side of the stream. You are going to notice that immediately.
Well, this isn't so bad.
Oh, it's quite nice, actually.
He did mention guards. Keep an eye out for them.
Sounds good.
Can I get a perception roll as you are walking up?
Ooh. 19.
Dirty
Nice.
20.
Nice.
So, as you...
Or no, 19.
Yeah, twinsies.
All right. So, as you're approaching, you're going to start hearing some noise in the distance. Goblin speak. A couple of goblins kind of muttering to each other, and it's coming from the trees immediately to the other side of this creek.
Blah. Duh. Roll dice. Roll dice.
You'll hear the sound of clattering.
I win. Give shiny. Mikoto.
So you'll hear that just across the way, it looks like, and as you're going up, anybody who is taking extra care to look are going to see a couple of goblins heavily obscured by briar patches. Looks like they're playing with dice through the tree line. You could theoretically sneak past them or up on them.
I don't fancy leaving them behind us.
Should we try to deal with them?
Can you sleep? Put them to sleep?
Was it just the two of them?
Looks like there are 3 of them.
I could try. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We'll give it a shot. See how many I
Alright.
can take out with sleep, depending on the
So-
hit point totals.
As you'll approach, you'll see that on the east side of the stream that flows from the cave mouth, that this small area in the thickets looks like it's been like pushed down. All of these goblins are sitting astride wooden planks that have flattened the briars and given them kind of a watch area. So you can get a sense that there are about 3 of them. So go ahead and roll me sleep.
While she's casting, excuse me, Carmilla is going to draw her bow and aim it kind of in that direction. So any that don't go down in sleep are going down to an arrow.
All right, that sounds good.
It's a total of 17.
17.
Ooh.
The really sad part is that I rolled 2 ones.
Oh no!
Yeah, 17 is the total hit points we can put to sleep.
Okay. You are going to cast that, and 2 of the goblins are going to... You're going to hear the sound of dice clattering off, and then...
Wake up, stupid. Why you sleep?
And can I get an initiative roll off of everyone? Carmilla, you can go ahead and fire that arrow at the one who stands up and looks at his friends first, though. And then we'll go into
I
initiative.
don't think that worked.
So they are heavily
Can I
obscured,
use-
so I'll need you to roll with disadvantage.
Do I still have Bardic? I didn't use it in the last combat.
So it lasts for 10 minutes.
Oh, so it's been more than 10 minutes.
So I got a 16.
16? Okay.
That was with disadvantage?
It was with disadvantage, total.
That's a nat one, baby.
Okay. So you're going to fire an arrow, and it's going to slam in right next to this stronger looking goblin that is going to stand up there above its allies and kind of leers at you. So that is going to be a miss on that turn. Let's go into initiative. Ooh, that's pretty good for him, actually. So looking at the initiative list, we have Anthea, followed by me, followed by Ella. Then I'll roll for the goblins in case they get woken up. Okay, then it's Gob 1. Then it is Sindri. Then it is not Gob 2. He's way out. Then it is Carmilla. Pardon me, it takes a minute to get used to the new player names. New character names, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Lyric and Gob 3. All right. So that arrow is going to slam into the side there. I'm going to say that's going to ruin the goblin leader's surprise round with that nat 1. So he's going to be suddenly alerted to this. And as you are doing that, Anthea, it is going to be your turn. What do you do?
Oh, Butterwort. She's going to kind of step forward so that no one else is in front of her, and she's going to throw out Tasha's Caustic Brew at it.
Okay. Now this is an attack roll to hit?
Yeah.
Or is it a saving throw?
No. It's a saving throw. It's a dex saving throw.
Okay, that's going to be 10.
That's not going to save. So it's going to be covered in acid for the spell's duration, which is a minute, or until it uses its action to scrape or wash the acid off itself.
Right, sounds good.
And then it's going to take 2d4 acid damage at the start of each of its turns.
Beautiful. Let's swap over to our map. All right. So does he take that 2d4 right now?
No, just at the start of its turn. If there's, it is a line though, so it's anybody in the line. It's 30 feet by 5 feet.
Okay, so that means
So
the
I'm
other
not
one's
sure
gonna.
if-
So you can choose to
Yeah.
hit the one in front of him that's sleeping as well, or you can aim to only hit him.
Probably try to only hit him.
Okay, you can
So I guess I can
absolutely do
Back
that.
up a little bit. Okay.
Okay, so that is that spray of horrible goop is going to smash into him, and that's going to be his turn. Actually, he is going to see you and let out a sudden bark of alarm, and what he's going to do, boy,
Is he's gonna take the damage first.
that's true. He's going to take the damage first. Roll for me.
2d4. That's 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Get
So,
some.
Get some.
all right.
Yep.
So he's going to. It burns. It burns.
Just a
And
little bit though. Kind of tickles.
he is going to, you know what? He is going to grab, he's a goblin boss. He's going to grab one of his associates, smack them around a couple times, and to the one next to him go, get in there and kill him. He's going to say, waking it up, "Oh, what happened, boss? What happened? Go kill him now." He's going to bark. And is going to point at you guys across the way. And I'm going to spend a hurt them more to have him make an attack as well. He is going to reach down, grab a javelin, and hurl it at you, Caitlan. However, I'm going to say he's heavily obscured. You're heavily obscured because he has to fire through there too. So that's going to be with disadvantage. A javelin is going to go and fly into the creek by your feet and start floating off. Ooh, free javelin.
Oh dear.
Ella, it's your turn.
I think Alessandra is going to also go, ooh, free javelin, and scoop that out of the water
Okay.
and fling it back.
All right, so make me an attack roll with disadvantage.
It's not great, but that would be 13. I think I'll use my determination to bring that to a 15.
to a 15. Okay, that
See if that
is
maybe hit.
that is not going to work. He is going to raise his shield and deflect your blow with it.
Try harder than that, loser.
Like you did?
All right. So the awakened goblin is going to turn and glare at you and launch himself across the water, leaping between you and taking a slash at you with his scimitar, Ella. And that's going to be a 19.
Damn, that hits.
Okay, and that's going to be... Oh, boy. That's going to be 8 points of damage.
Ooh, ouch!
Are you down?
No.
Okay, this goblin's going to launch himself across the creek and is going to smash into you. The slashing is going to smash into the side of your chain shirt there that you're wearing beneath your clothes, and you're going to feel one of your ribs crack. And blood.
I am very, very hurt.
That's going to almost drop you. And Sindri, it's your turn.
Damn. So I can make it into the briars. Hey?
You absolutely can, yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna beat feet, and let me just do the math to get in here. How do I do this?
You can easily move through. The creek does not count as rough terrain because it's so deep.
Oh,
it's not that deep.
Where? Oh, that's why I can't. I'm like, why can't I move my
5, 10,
token?
15. So you can basically move, right into the thicket.
Yeah. So I'm going to make an attack with my scimitar, or not my scimitar, my cutlass, my short sword.
Do it.
And that is an 18 to hit.
All right, hitting the boss.
Yeah.
Okay, you are going to be able to do so. Roll me damage.
That's going to be 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. He's still on his feet.
And I'm going to use martial arts, my monk ability, to make a bonus attack.
Okay, go ahead.
And that's going to be a 22.
That's going to be a hit as well. Roll me damage.
So I don't add my... if I understand, I don't add my dexterity mod to my martial arts attack.
I think you do, still.
Okay. Oh, it's just the offhand attack that you make with like an extra weapon that doesn't get you
Yeah, that's why martial arts are so good.
So I deal 8 points of damage because I rolled a 4.
Okay, so he is going to snarl at you as you slash him, and I'm going to use my redirect attack. And as you smash down with your punch, he is going to grab the other sleeping goblin and pull his face in front of your fist.
Gross. Okay, cool.
How much damage was that again? That was
8.
Okay, you are going to point blank smash that goblin's head, snapping its neck.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Give life to cause.
He tosses the body down.
All right.
Okay, that is going to be your turn. Carmilla, you're up.
She is very upset at what this goblin just did to Ella, and is going to attack, toss her bow aside, and draw her her longsword, and just with a one-handed swing attack. Oh my god! Okay, that's probably not going to do it because that is a character sheet thing. That's a 9.
Okay, so lashing out,
Jesus.
You are caught up in the moment and are unable to connect. Do you have another action you'd like to do?
Can I use my bite as an offhand attack? Just without, and then I roll without my bonus? The wording is it is a natural weapon that counts as a simple melee weapon.
Bite be an offhand attack. This has never come up in a game before, so I'm just going to look this up. With 2 bites cannot be used because it is not a light nor wielded in a hand.
Okay, in that case, can I attack with a dagger?
Yes, you can draw a dagger and
or
attack.
a short sword rather. Sorry, I have a short sword.
Although you're using a long sword as your primary, so I believe
Longsword is single hand.
but I believe both weapons have to be
versatile.
light for 2-weapon fighting.
Oh,
They both have to be
Yes.
light. Yep.
Yeah, someone in the chat just also confirmed. So yes. Well, I would have restatted things. So no, I'll do nothing else.
I'm sorry.
Krista needs to read rules.
That's okay. If you want to retrain after this episode, you can. All right.
No, it's
Gobbo
okay. I'm retraining at 3rd level. I planned.
That's fair. Gobbo number 3 is dead, so that they are not in part of this. But Lyric, it is your turn. What do you do?
Well, I want to intimidate and potentially distract them, so I would like to cast Minor Illusion.
Ooh.
With the sounds of beating drums getting closer.
Okay, beating drums, getting
from the other
closer.
side, hopefully.
Okay.
Preferably.
That is not good enough. Okay, so that one is going to leer to the south and is going to go, more coming, more coming. Help! Top of the initiative. Do you have anything else you're doing, Lyric?
I'm just absolutely going to give Bardic Inspiration to... Let me just...
So Anthea's next, followed by the Goblin Boss and Ella. I'd give it to the Goblin Boss. He needs it more than everyone else.
Please don't give it to Anthea.
I was going to give it to Ella.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Anthea, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I would like to disengage
Okay.
and continue focusing on my spell.
Okay, sounds great. So disengaging, you can keep that line up there of caustic liquid. All right, that means that it is the Goblin Boss's turn. Go ahead and roll me damage.
All right, come on. We can do this. We can do this. Let's go. Yeah, 6 is better than 3.
Oh, God, he's real hurt. He is real hurt. Okay, but he's still up. Looking at Sindri, he's going to brandish his blade and go smack it a couple times.
I'm big tough goblin boss. I'm the boss. I'm the boss, not you.
And is going to spend a drama or hurt them more and make 2 attacks against you, my friend.
That seems about right.
Oh, balls. Oh, that is one hell of a goblin boss. Okay, so that is going to be a 23 and a 21.
Yeah, those both hit.
Okay, the first one is going to be 7 points of slashing. And the next is 8. Oh, you're down? Okay, slashing you twice. Sindri, you're going to see blood splatter up at your face, and it takes you a full moment before you realize that it's yours. As you collapse to the ground, Ella, it is your turn.
I'm the boss.
He yells.
The one in front of me or the one over?
The one that just downed Sindri yells that.
Well, the one in front of me, I'm going to try and stab with my longsword.
Okay, go ahead and make me an attack roll.
That one.
Yeah, I don't think my Bardic Inspiration is going to help with that.
No.
Oh no.
I think I'm about to be dead.
So, reflexively, the one in front of you, you're going to go, and you're going to stumble forward, having been grievously wounded. However, he got a total of a 5 on his attack roll to try to skewer you. So what's going to happen is you are going to stumble forward. I'm going to spend a drama bomb to have this happen, and you're going to stumble as you try to grab the goblin. The goblin is going to try to stab you, and what's going to happen is both of you are going to tumble into the stream, landing and falling prone, kind of like wrapped around each other. Okay, it is that goblin's turn now. That goblin is going to attempt to stab you on his turn. However, because you're both prone, that's going to be with disadvantage because you're kind of tangled up in each other, which is probably for the best. I have a 12.
Nope.
Okay, he is going to try to stab you, finding that his arm is pinned beneath you. Across the way, Sindri, I would like to know, what are you thinking about as you stare up at the sky, your lifeblood ebbing out of you?
I'm thinking about my first day leaving the boat, grabbing all my earthly possessions, and running in the dead of the night, leaving a ship I've been with for years into the streets of Neverwinter.
You feel the air moving in and out of your lungs. And in the distance, you hear this drum beating. And as you do, you hear this pulsing in your ears, the feeling of your blood flowing, and it feels like you're back on the ocean for just a moment. The race of your blood carrying you away. Carmilla, you're up. What do you do?
Oh.
I guess we're gonna try this again, and we're going to go for the goblin that's in the river.
Okay.
And I will try to stab him.
Okay, you have advantage because he's prone.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. I give up. I should probably just drown myself at this point.
How many would you roll?
That's a 9.
Okay.
I rolled a 2 and a 4.
Okay. So taking a stab, he's too like wrapped up with Ella, and as you like lash out, you see blood flowing through the water, and it's going to distract you. You realize that you're hungry. You feel the press of your teeth against your lips, and you look at Ella's wound and like the blood gracefully ribboning out of her upper chest, and you feel maybe a couple of different types of lust. The smoothness of her
I'm gonna
skin.
take a step back out of the river.
All right. Lyric, it is your turn.
Right. So, my understanding is that at least one of my friends is downed
Yes.
over there. Can we
Sin-
see, like, probably a little bit obstructed?
Yes, definitely obstructed.
Okay. And the other one is in the river,
Yes.
possibly drowning?
Maybe.
Well, I know that Carmilla is nearby.
Yes.
And I'm definitely going to rely on her to handle the one in the river, because that's definitely the best option to be doing here. And Lyric is going to, one second, is going to, I'm pressing all the wrong things. Here we go. Is going to, if he's in the river, it won't provoke an attack of opportunity if he's prone, right?
He already, he'll definitely have disadvantage on it.
Okay, so in that thing, I think that Lyric is going to go and try and jump across the river and run to where she saw Sindri go down. No.
Would you like to make me, anybody who wants to, can make an opportunity attack against this goblin?
Well, if it's going to swing at me and fail at it, then I will happily swing back at it with my rapier that I've got.
Okay, you may do so, as may Carmilla, because he's going to try to, he's going to try to lash out at you as you jump over, and in doing so, he's tangled up in Ella's legs and is going to, like, basically flop over onto the bank on his back with his chest exposed.
Well, I got an 18 to...
That is going to hit him. Carmilla, what'd you
Can I
get?
try a disadvantaged one?
Yes, you may.
That is a 21. Thank you, Raven.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, roll me damage.
And I got
Would you get 19?
5 piercing
Yep.
if my...
Okay. Everybody roll me
All
damage.
together now.
11.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The let's get him respective persona. Just
Yeah,
like,
basically everybody, it's time to press triangle.
Bullet attack!
Sorry,
Yes.
12.
Oh my god.
12.
Yeah, my big ol' 5.
Okay, and Ella?
We all just skewer him at the same time. 6.
Okay, so that is a total of 23 points of damage on a 7 hit point goblin.
Overkill.
Basically, suddenly, like, a bunch of, like, legs and arms are just going to start flying across the clearing as this goblin explodes.
Didn't know goblins could do that. And Lyric is going to keep running over and is going to stop, I think, what is... once I can see the goblin.
Okay, you can see him. A line of putrid acid is smashing into him from down beneath where Carmilla is.
I'm going to just drop my rapier and throw a dagger at him.
Okay. Make me a ranged attack roll. You do not have disadvantage because you are in the middle of this.
Yeah. And I'm possibly going to spend my determination. We'll see. I think I will spend my determination.
Okay, what does that take you to?
Because thrown is dexterity for dagger. Because
it is, yes.
I think yes. So that would be 18 to hit.
That is actually a hit.
Awesome.
And one sec, actually. Let me
And-
just see something. Does it have to be an allied character? Nope, it has to be another goblin. Okay.
Okay. And then if that is a hit, then they are taking 6 piercing damage
6 piercing.
as
Okay.
the dagger impacts.
All right, your dagger is going to smash into them, pinning back to the wall, or back to the side of one of the trees. And as it does so, it's going to kind of like start to bleed out as it looks.
But I'm the boss. I'm the boss.
It grunts at you. And Anthea, can you roll
Yes,
your acid dice? Oh, sorry, lyric.
Yes, well, you're a shit job at it.
But I'm the boss.
Time to retire.
7. I got 4 and
It is
18.
going to melt to a goblin skeleton on the tree as the
Oh.
acid completely purges it.
Ew, that's disgusting.
And as it does, you're going to hear tink as a little pouch falls off of the skeleton. As it literally does an item drop.
Wonder what that is.
Sindri is unconscious and bleeding profusely at your feet.
Are we out of combat rounds
We are
now?
out of combat rounds.
Can I give him first aid?
You may make me a medicine
With
check.
a medicine check? Possum. And my medicine check is going to be 18.
18, all right. Sindri, you are going to stabilize.
Do I become conscious, or am I just like stable?
You're gonna be
zero?
kind of groggily unconscious at this point. So you're gonna be like, what?
Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Oh, come on. Up you
Oh,
get.
God.
Both hands just like
Ow.
tap, tap, tap. I'm not hitting you very hard.
I-
Come on.
No, not that. The
Oh,
stab
yes.
wounds.
Right. Well, I have patched them up a little bit,
Thank you.
but
Thank
they
you.
are still very much there. See, I could heal you, but I spent all my I ran out of juice
That's
earlier
okay. Just
with the sleep.
need to get up. In a minute.
I would prescribe slow movements and no vigorous activity for the time being.
Vigorous activity.
Yeah, don't get stabbed again.
Yeah.
I think
Ow.
while all that's happening, Alessandra is going to be slowly like crawling her way out of the stream, and once she's out on the bank, she's just going to flop and lie there bleeding.
Oh, Lady Alessandra. I don't have anything to help you. Not this time.
That's all right. I probably should avoid any more fighting, though.
Oh, Butterwort.
Carmilla kind of looms over Althea for a moment
Yes.
and sort of looking down at Alessandra, and then kind of goes, "I'll start putting up camp." Walk away from all the bleeding people and start putting up tents.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Finding somewhere secure away from the entrance of the Goblin Caverns.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I still have some bandages that stick, but maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, reminds me, I need to go check out that thing that dropped from that
Probably
corpse.
okay.
I'm gonna go
Oh.
pick that up and investigate it.
Okay.
Now that I'm sure my friends aren't all just dying on me.
So inside of that pouch, you're going to see there's a small belt pouch containing what looks like 16 silver pieces.
I think I should hold on to this for safekeeping.
You do that. Sindri's gonna like kind of like prop himself up.
Lay it down.
Well, it can't stay here.
As well, there's...
Can you carry him over the river to camp?
Or just help.
I'm
Yes,
far
I
too
can do
small.
that. Lyric will tuck the pouch into her own little pouch bag thing, pockets. I don't know. I think she's got pockets, honestly, and is going to go and will hoist. Well, I guess fireman carry Sindri across.
He's pretty slight, so you can probably do that.
This is
Fair.
probably very funny because I don't know how tall Sindri is, but Lyric is 5'3".
Sindri is also like 5 foot, so this is perfect.
Excellent.
We have
Beautiful.
lots of very small people.
Okay, wait, did I for once make a not insanely tall character and I'm still the tallest at like 5'7"?
Yes.
You think so?
I mean, I'm
Lady
getting there
Alessandra's
with the
like 6 feet
horn.
tall with the halo.
We're tied.
Okay, perfect.
So I think
Amazing.
Alessandra is probably far slighter than you are,
Yes,
which
yeah,
is
fair.
slightly disguised by her clothes. But if anybody had to like help her at all, probably feel how frail she is.
Okay. So, do you head a little bit of ways to camp? Or do you camp close?
Probably not right here.
I did roll an 11 on my survival check.
Okay, so that's enough to
so-
know that camping right next to the entrance to a goblin cave is probably not ideal. It's in like the ranger handbook, right next to
She
like,
probably starts and then is like, wait.
Good morning, Goblin Cave.
good morning, goblin cave.
Good morning. Good morning. It's great to wake up stabbed.
It's great to wake up not.
That could have a couple connotations based on the ads that song was used for.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's true. I forgot it was used in a Viagra commercial. Thank you for reminding me.
Yup.
Not.
I can't hear it
did
without
not
thinking of
know
that now.
God. All right,
Hey,
so
No.
you are going to head off into the woods trying to find a good place. You find like a clearing that has like quite a bit of a canopy cover to it that you think is probably a good place to set up a camp. What? You thinking about Viagra again?
It's great to wake up shanked.
It's great to wake up shanked.
Great to wake up shanked. All
Good
right.
morning. Woohoo.
I'm so glad I'm mostly unconscious right now.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Lyric is humming along as she's like toting Sindri around too.
It's the best day of your life, really. I just gotta say. You make your way over to this clearing that Carmilla guides you to. And are you just short resting or are you gonna do a long rest?
I'm gonna need a long rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I have 1 hit point left.
And then Lyric will spend time composing some songs because I have 2 hit points down out of my total, and oh well, actually I want to recover my spells too. So
okay. So, Lyric, I guess that means that you're going to take first watch as you guys long rest.
perfect.
Okay. All right. So, as you guys first game, first long rest, folks. Let's do it. This is how I play Baldur's Gate 3.
Hell yeah.
God.
I mean, I think we knew this was going to happen with me. I was very lucky last fight to not get hit.
All right, so let's roll for some random encounters. So your night progresses, darkness falls, and you have a little crackling campfire on you. As you are sitting there, I'd like you... What's your passive perception?
Lyrics?
Yeah.
11.
And is anybody else...
Wisdom is my dump stat.
Is anybody else staying up with Lyric for the first shift? I'm assuming Sindri and Alessandra are right out.
Yep. I need that sweet
I can help.
healing.
I'm nominally at 0 hit points, so yeah, I'm in a bag somewhere.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'll do like mid shift, because I'm a creature of the night.
Okay.
Is there like
blah,
3
blah, blah
shifts
here.
then, or just 2 shifts?
I think you guys can do this in 2 shifts if you want to.
Who wants me to go with them then?
I will serenade you.
Oh, that sounds nice.
It's probably not an actual serenade. It's probably just sort of like a raunchy tavern song.
Oh my goodness. It depends on how explicit it is, whether she understands it and gets it and blushes or not. She's kind of...
Hold on. Can I I need to insight something.
Sure.
I got a 10 to get a sense of how naive and innocent or sheltered I think
Anthea is?
Anthea is.
Well, she just said, "Oh, Butterwort" as her big swear of the night. So with that, the lot of you are sitting there in front of the fire. Lady Alessandra, you are sleeping. Carmilla, you as well. And Lyric and Anthea, what are you doing as night rolls in?
So, Lyric was singing raunchy tavern songs, but had determined that perhaps Anthea was a little bit sheltered and is instead replacing the really raunchy lyrics with like or like just slightly different words. So it doesn't actually make sense for any of the ones that are actually stories, because some of them are like narratively. So it's kind of like and then they had baguettes. Kind of thing.
Why would they have baguettes though?
I don't know. It's just the song just keeps going.
Interesting. Okay. I don't really understand music.
Yes, well, it's not for everyone. I mean, it is for everyone, but not everyone really gets it.
Well, maybe I don't get it. But I get other things. Like, I think we should have 5 coils in each spring. I think that might balance out. Oh, but I might want to have more or fewer in mine because I'm smaller.
I vaguely understand what you're talking about.
Do you need something for the front where you've got the... Or do you have the rhythm of the card all figured out when you're...
Well, I've got it all figured out. But
Okay.
if you were adding cushioning to it, I think
Yeah.
it would carry over to the front just fine, would it not?
No, I'm going to do each seat individually, I think. And then we can have them custom tailored.
That's certainly innovative.
Oh, thank you. That's what I do. That's what I try to do anyways. Okay, so anyway, I'll make you some too. And, I have to try to figure out how to put it in the front seat, though.
Well, I mean, there's that part that flips up, and there's like a little, for the driver, that little cubby.
That's true. I guess I'll have to use the cubby space.
It's not like I'm using it for anything.
Oh, okay. I mean, you should. Well, not anymore, but you should have. It's pretty convenient.
What's your passive perception, Anthea?
12.
Okay. You hear wildlife in the distance. The howl. The howl of a wolf, a coyote, and then it gets a little closer. And then suddenly, as you are lying there, you are going to see, just at the edge of the firelight, yellow eyes staring at you from the undergrowth of the trees.
And they're not my yellow eyes.
They are not. They are different ones.
There's a thing. She's gonna start tapping lyric.
What?
There's a something.
I don't interrupt my process.
I don't know what it is. She'll point at it.
A lyric will take a look.
There is a wolf with dark black fur and a deep scar bisecting the area between its bright yellow eyes.
Hello,
It looks like it's seen a thing or two.
Wolfie.
Make me an animal handling roll, please.
No.
That's a 12.
Okay. It looks at you and just keeps an intent gaze on you. It doesn't growl. It doesn't do anything that... In fact, there's something weird about this wolf. Looking at it, you can see
Yes.
that it's approaching the fireplace and it appears to be alone.
Are you a music enthusiast?
Oh yeah, keep playing maybe.
She'll keep playing.
All right. You play your instrument. And as you do, the wolf is going to look up at you and turn back to the undergrowth that it was hiding in and make... There's going to be a slight scrabbling noise, like it's digging or rustling. And then it's going to turn back toward you with something in its mouth.
Hmm.
And it is going to toss it. Kind of just throw its head up in the air, and this little patch of branches is going to tumble onto the ground.
That's quite nice, quite nice. Is that for us? It's like she's still playing, but she's also kind of like shifting and slowly standing up to approach what was tossed, and it's kind of like scuffing it with her. We'll like nudge it with her foot.
Can I insight this interaction or something?
Yes, you may.
Have I heard about this in books?
Please.
Oh, I've not heard about this in books. I'll be a 9.
You have no
I heard
idea.
about this.
But yeah, you may. And
What's going
Lyric,
on?
as you are talking to this wolf and you ask it a question, it's going to go, wolf.
Oh,
Okay. Would this be a history or
I want
like
you to
a
make me.
nature?
I want you to
or-
make me a. You can make me a history roll. You can make me. You can make me a nature roll. You can make me a
I'm
another animal.
thinking, like, have I heard anything like in this in songs or tales? Like, have I ever heard anything?
Make me a
from,
history
like,
roll then.
lore?
And Thea, if you are right next there as well, either of you can also make me an Arcana roll.
oh, okay.
Well, my history
goodness.
roll is giving me a good old 24.
Whoa!
There are stories of
Ah.
strange animals that come out of the woods and help strangers from time to time. A lot of the old legends tell of things like that.
Yeah, but usually
I got 9.
reasons
A 9?
for such a visit.
For my Arcana. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm doing real well.
So
I'm
glancing
okay.
down, it looks like a bundle of holly berries at your feet.
And for my Arcana check, that's a 23.
They're not holly berries, they're good berries.
Holly berries.
Oh,
It is
no, those are not. They're not holly.
There are
Oh,
6 good berries there. And the wolf is going to look up at you and go, a wolf.
Thank
And is
you.
going to turn and run off into the woods.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well, I'm much more familiar with werewolves, but I suppose a weird wolf isn't that far out of the imagination.
Well, that was a very
but-
kind wolf.
It did. It gave us good berries. You know, berries, you eat them and they heal you.
Yes,
Feel
yes,
better?
no, I do.
Probably shouldn't just shove them down Sindri's mouth, should I?
I mean, you'd probably choke. That's probably not the best. You can mush it into a paste and shove it in his cheek. He'd still probably choke, but not as bad.
Sindri's just sitting over there meditating in pain,
Oh, right, he's up.
just laying stock still on the ground like this, like in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, my feet are in
All
the
of a-
water.
All of
Like,
a sudden, they're just on top.
yeah, like
Look at
sort of
that.
conscious, but just. Oh,
Do you think he'd be conscious enough to eat them himself? And how about
I think
Ella
he
was
could
rather
manage.
hurt too.
Yeah.
oh. Oh. It tastes kind of
Oh.
good. What was that?
Berries.
Did you feed all of them to Sindri?
No, just like half of them.
So
So there
Sindri,
was 6, right?
there are 6, and Sindri, if you feed that, you'll regenerate 3 hit points and have. You're gonna feel like you've got about 3 days worth of calories in you. You've got like 5-hour energy, like 3 5-hour energies in you right now.
Whoa!
The night.
5-hour good berry.
You make those?
No, a wolf gave them to us.
Yeah.
Sure. Perfect.
It was a very kind wolf.
They were. They gave me berries. I've never. Is the woods like this always?
I wouldn't know.
I can assure you no.
Okay. I'm still in a lot of pain, so I'm gonna go lie down and then hope this fever passes.
Okay, feel better.
That sounds like a good idea.
I must be hallucinating. Good night.
Good night.
But like,
She'll
I'm gonna
pat,
lie
pat,
down
pat.
and just be like absolutely like awake and just like staring at the stars.
When do you think he's gonna realize he was conscious this whole time? Maybe when the sun rises. Anyway,
You continue to.
So how much do you weigh?
do I weigh?
Hmm.
Oh, well, you know, I just... Lady never tells.
Oh, it's for the springs, though.
How much do you think I weigh?
I don't know. I have to do more research.
Very good. Yes, I think Lyric's gonna go and, once it's time to change the shift, we'll probably go and figure out how to feed berries to Ella.
Sounds good. All right. So who's waking up for second shift? Is that going to be Carmilla's pretty not injured? Okay. So Carmilla, you wake up and suddenly the night is alive around you. You never feel as awake as you do at night. Not since.
Anthea would have said, because on shift change, she would have said, if anything happens, you can wake me up. I don't actually sleep very often anyways.
Yes, I've become unfortunately very aware of that.
Yeah. Okay, well, have a good shift. Tap, tap, tap with her book. Quite hard, actually. Mm-hmm. Good night, then.
Good night.
Okay. And
Post up.
as you are posting up for watch, what's your passive perception?
10.
10.
It's a bad idea to leave me alone, baby. No healers. No perception. Yes. We are the perfect
No
group.
gods, no masters, no perception.
Okay. Can you do me a favor and roll me a d12?
D12, eh? Oh god, they're all at the bottom of my jar.
You roll me a d10 then. I don't care.
No, there it is. I found it. I got it. They're the tiniest dice ever in these sets. A 5.
5. Okay.
I'm gonna die, guys. It was nice knowing you.
It's nice knowing us. Okay. You set up camp by yourself, watching your friends sleep. There's quiet in the night, and above you, you can hear the sound of bats making their ways through the night. In fact, you're even able to just barely hear the sound of their screeches. And as you are looking up and keeping an eye on that, there's going to be a flutter. And can you please make me a wisdom save, please?
Probably not. Oh, that's a 16.
Okay. You hear something rustle in the bush nearby, and you stand up, but as you do, keeping your hand on your blade, you're going to hear this rustle, and then suddenly an explosion of black leathery wings erupt out of the tree line nearby you. Spooked by something in the distance, you think you can hear a deer sprinting? Perhaps that's what startled them, but suddenly you were surrounded by 3-4 dozen bats. They swirl around you, shrieking. Some of them get in your hair. They don't bite you. They just swirl around you for a moment, like a black cape. But, even startled as you are, you hold your composure, you don't let out a shriek, you don't wake your companions. And then, they disperse into the night.
Mom? I think she's a little startled at first, and then takes a. There is this weird. I joke, Mom, but there is this kind of like strange connection to that association that she doesn't want to take any comfort in, but there's kind of a part of her that does, and it's kind of like, yeah, this is. And that sort of spins into looking back at her companions that are all asleep through this darkness and, you know, staying close to the fire where she's kind of farther away, and is really sort of this comfort that she takes in the dark and the creatures of the night and things like that. It really turns her very sad of being like, yeah, this is where I belong. It's not with them. I'm just with them. The only way I can be with them is if I get rid of whatever has been done to me. But until that point, I need to keep my distance.
And as you have that moment, you're going to hear a dry branch crack in the brush. Probably about 5 meters away from camp. And then something something meaty hit the ground. Like something just did a belly flop.
Stupid nickel.
You'll hear this familiar, raspy voice.
Oh my god. Curd, what are you doing?
Hunting raccoon. Hungry.
Of course you are.
Why not you killing family?
Well, apparently your family are much more proficient than you are.
Curd is kind of a loser.
Well, you could have led with that.
You not bargain with loser. You kill loser. Go keep the good ones. Just like Mom tried.
Well, that's incredibly sad and very endearing, and I don't want to like you because you've been kind of a dick. But
What is dick?
a jerk, a rude. Yes, someone that is
Mokta.
not helpful. The Mokta. All right,
Yeah.
Mokta. Wonderful. Okay, well, despite you being Mokta, she'll like reach down into like her pack and find some like jerky or something like that, something that has meat in it, and will sort of come here.
Okay.
So is there anyone else of your family that's in there that has more of the
Oh.
capabilities?
No one
Any
wears
good
cape.
fighters? Is there any good fighters in your family?
Yeah. Some good fighters. Some. They're, Yimik.
Yimik?
Yeah, Yimik runs, eating room. Eating cave. Head guard.
Okay. Head guard, Yimik.
And then,
Right, we will...
and then King Clark. King Clark.
King Clark.
Well, Clark. Clark wants to be king. He our bugbear. He leader. Report King Kroll. King Kroll.
Right.
He wants to be king.
Okay.
Wants to kill King Kroll. Thinks we don't know. He talks about it in his sleep, and sometimes when he poop.
Why would you talk while you poop?
We try to quiet.
Even Goblin don't understand.
He's bugbear. Don't understand. He has big mean wolf named Ripper.
Oh, there's wolf. Okay.
We have many wolf.
Ripper.
Ride wolf.
Right.
Yeehaw.
Are there many wolf? There many wolf in the cave?
5. 4.
5 wolf.
5 wolf. 4 wolf. 5 wolf and Ripper. So
Right.
Ripper is wolf, so 6 wolf.
Okay. You have been much more helpful this time around. You're just not very good at finding traps without setting them off.
Didn't know about second trap. They don't trust Kurd to set traps. They think Kurd loser. Makta. Kurd show them. You kill all of them, then King Kurd.
If they're all dead, who will you be king of?
Oh. I'm gonna make an intelligence save, I think. That's a 4. Oh no, pardon me. That's a 2, because he's at a -2 for intelligence. He's gonna sit there and go, oh. He's gonna be that meme of the guy staring into space, you know, like the... Always someone beneath
Doing
Kurd.
math.
Right.
I be king of Kurd?
You can be king of Kurd without killing anybody. You can be king of yourself, all alone. You can be king of yourself even when you're with other people who are above you.
No, then they my king.
Well, they're like a separate lord. There are many kings in the world. There's not just one. Your king is not my king.
What?
Yes, many kings on equal footing.
He's going to sit down on the ground and look at his feet.
I think big hard. Think.
I can see the smoke.
Fire.
He points at the fire pit.
Yes. Would you like to warm?
Yeah. Kurd have long day.
It's been a rough one, little guy.
He's gonna curl up and go to sleep. All right. So, God damn it.
Yeah, buddy. That's rough.
Yeah, buddy. It has been a long day.
I am Kurduff.
I am Kurduff.
I am Kurd. Hear me roar.
I want to see you be Kurd.
God.
I'm definitely thinking that if he's still there when Lyric wakes up, Lyric is tossing him in the river because he stinks.
Okay.
We'll stream. But it will kill him. It's just,
It's a 2 meter
Yeah.
deep.
Is it 2 feet?
He cracked his head on a rock and dies. That's the end of
Is
Kurd.
it 2 feet deep?
Yeet.
So it's just like your knees. It's just like dump, right?
I mean, unless you're only 3 feet tall.
Well, I mean, maybe I won't let him go. I'll just dump, and then haul him out
All
again.
right.
Actually, how tall is
I
he?
still have that
Question.
soap.
Kurd,
or
I'm gonna say
rose
he's
petals.
like, how tall are you, Anthea?
Like,
Like 3 foot 5 inches.
He's like 3'5.5".
Oh no! Okay.
Well, this can't stand.
All right, morning
Just
comes.
curious.
All of you will regenerate all of your hit points. So
Yeah.
congratulations to being back to the land of the living. And as light slowly trickles into the clearing, Lyric, you're going to awaken to see Kurd snoring next to you.
oh my god, it stinks!
And then you'll all
And
hear
it's
this
going to just hoist and dump.
Wah! Splash.
Oh,
Bath! You stinky little gremlin!
Goblin. Blah, blah, blah,
Goblin!
blah, 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 blah.
Fine!
Sindri will
Drown!
Sindri
Haul it back
help
out.
him out. Oh,
And
you're
just
here.
like scrubbing with the soap that we found.
Okay.
Oh, no. Flower stink.
Yeah, well, it's better than what you stink before.
flowers don't stink. Usually.
Either
Some
you-
do, actually. I have a whole list of some.
I think the concept of whether a flower stinks or not is rather it's subjective.
I strangely feel like it's a personal attack, so...
Did a wolf come into our camp last night?
Oh. Yes, and
Oh.
it gave us some berries.
It was very kind.
Okay.
Did you?
We gave you the
start-
berries. Did you hit your
Yeah,
head a
did
bit hard?
And you started
No, I just got
staring up
stabbed twice. It just seems
into- Yeah.
barely real. And he
It
looks
was
like
very
Kurd.
strange. Oh, what
Ah.
I know.
Yeah?
It's
Hey,
clean
bud.
Hi.
now.
I'm clean now.
Either it gets clean or it leaves. I don't care which.
It's clean now.
It's clean now.
I'm clean now.
Drop. Just like let's go. I think it was like
Wow.
holding it under the armpits.
Lady
Holding it under
Alessandra,
the
how are you?
Oh.
How are you holding up?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm definitely rolling hit dice. Or hit die.
Well, if you sleep, you can get them all back.
Sweet. Sure.
So, as you're being asked that, Lady Alessandra, you start gathering up your belongings, and as Sindri asks that, you reach out for your sword. And you find that as you touch the side of it, your hand is shaking slightly. And you get a flash, a memory. Your grandmother looking over you as your family trains in the yard. Your lungs burn from coughing. You're exhausted. There now, your grandmother says, her voice raspy but full. I'm sure there will be time for you to go and play with your siblings later. You need to rest, Alessandra. You're not as strong as they are. There's place for you inside of the Order as well. There's nothing wrong with being a librarian, a bookkeeper, a researcher. There's nothing wrong with being someone who guides the swords of those more capable. The sound of training dummies being struck with wooden swords behind you. Let those who were chosen for the path walk it. The image fades back, and you find yourself looking at your sword, your fingers trembling. What do you do?
Kind of look at it for a moment, clench my hand, and then reach out and very firmly try and grasp my sword and put it away.
The trembling stops. You slide it onto your belt. Sindri still waits for his response.
Lady Alessandra?
I'm well. Thank you.
Okay, let's get this all packed up, I guess. We have some friends to rescue.
And I think that's where we're going to call game for the night. Good final line, Chris. All right, so everybody...
Line.
Whose line is it anyway? It's Chris's. Hey, that's going to be episode 1 of Phandelver and Below. So congratulations. I really like your party so far, guys.
I think they're fun.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
they're all so good.
Dungeon crawl in
like
episode
Wilson
1.
Pickle.
God.
Yeah,
Curd,
Jesus.
my boy.
My boy, Curd. I'm like, you guys are gonna
Father.
adopt. You're gonna adopt the goblin. I already knew it.
Oh,
I can't
gosh.
wait to get a few more hit points.
No kidding.
How many do you
I'm as
have?
weak as the goblins.
You have 2 more hit points than the goblins.
9?
You do
Okay,
more
so
damage than the goblins.
you have
Right.
one less hit point than me.
We're tied, twinsies.
Come on, 9 hit point squad.
The maximum I can gain is 9.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Hey folks, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Phandelver and Below. We're going to be running this game every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific. So if you're tuning in for the first time right now, definitely come back for episode 2. This is going to be a fantastic campaign. And I got to say, I'm really excited where the second half goes. It's going to be dark, twisted, and wonderful. And I hope you enjoy and come back for more. A big thank you to our sponsor for the night, Bookwyrm Games, who is doing a dice giveaway for us tonight. So if you want to enter that, go ahead and hit !Phandelver before I finish thanking the patrons, and you'll have a chance to win. If you're watching this later on YouTube, thank you so much for supporting us. Give us a sub if you're over there, because it doesn't cost you anything and it makes me happy. So please do that. Leave a comment, by the way, and I'll do my best to respond. A big thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon, because Dork Tales is a full-time endeavor, and we could not do it without the monetary and emotional support that we get from our friends over at patreon.com/dorktales. Starting with, I must thank our world-building producer, Jade, the Maker of Monsters, who is designing all sorts of things for the Underdark and other things that delve in the deep for future campaigns. Thank you so much, Jade. A big thank you to my my mom, who just had her birthday like 20 minutes ago or 40 minutes ago. So thank you very much, Mom, divine producer that you are. I will see you tomorrow. Big thank you to our demonic patron, Precarious. Thanks so much, Funkelbreck. You're an amazing dude, and I look forward to gaming more with you soon. To our wizards of the Patreon, Tammy the Forever Cleric and the Ink Goblin, you're amazing. Wizards and magical in all ways. Thank you so much. And finally, to our High Council of the Patreon, that is Taryn, Buddy, Amberthist, Raven with Baubles, Karasha Urquhart, Chef Eladeth, Larouk, Sorcerer Sanguine, Mike Baxter, and Caitlan Whitebeard. Thank you for supporting us and for keeping the channel on the air. If you want to join them and get a ton of additional content, head over to patreon.com/dorktales and join up for as little as $5 a month. You'll get a ton of extra content, and there are even better tiers than that, where you get even more stuff. So consider it. You get a bunch of extra games, and you support a channel that hopefully you enjoy. Thank you so much to everybody for playing, and thank you to everybody on Patreon. With that, let's do that. So it is time for Phandelver to have been entered in the chat. So Christine, let's do a drum roll, please.
Alrighty then.
It was a bookworm dice that broke my streak tonight.
Ooh,
Oh.
yeah.
All right.
And our winner is Slouching Beast. Good job, Slouching Beast. So Slouching Beast, We're gonna reach
That's
out.
awesome.
We're gonna reach out to you. So Slouching Beast, send us your email address, and we'll put you in contact with Bookwyrm Games for them to send you your prize. Thank you everybody for sticking around and for watching Phandelver and Below. We'll see you next Monday night. Be sure to come back tomorrow for Hunter the Vigil Summons, which is going public release tomorrow. I think you're really gonna like it. It's a fantastic game with some amazing people telling a really spooky story just in time for spooky season. And with that, we'll see you next time here on Phandelver and Below, The Shattered Obelisk. Good night, everybody.
Bow, 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 bow.